One by one, veiled men and helmeted, they knelt to him, crying, "The dragon is reborn! The dragon is reborn! Let's do this!"
That is right. Welcome back to the Nerdy Wordy Book Club. My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is our COVID episode.
Yeah, it took us 2 years, but we finally caught it, unfortunately.
Yeah, for those of you listening to the podcast feed at a later date, I just want to apologize if there's a little bit of coughing, a little bit of sniffling in this episode.
Try my best to mute if it happens.
We're both a little bit under the weather, but we're going to be pushing through. I will say I am already sweating pretty bad. So if I sweat through my shirt in this episode, video watchers, I apologize.
Don't judge.
I'm sick. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, don't judge us. We're doing our best.
We thought about canceling, but here's the thing. We both read the end of the book, and we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because the ending of The Dragon Reborn is... Wild. Ooh, people like my shirt. This is fun.
It's a nice shirt.
I bought this at Disneyland. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to go back next month.
Me too.
We're going to be going to Star Wars Celebration next month. And next week on the book club, there is going to be a very special announcement relating to something like that.
Wow. Very subtle.
Subtle enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a huge announcement next week.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fun, so don't miss that.
Yeah, this week's announcement is, you guys already know, but we are going to be appearing on the Dusty Wheel on Sunday. We're very, very excited for that. It's 4 Eastern, I think.
Yeah, Sunday, April 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be the guests over there talking about the first 3 books with all the wheelies over there.
The wheelies, I love it.
Or the D-wheels. I don't know what they call themselves over there.
D-wheels?
Here's the fun thing about the Dusty Wheel. All right, I have mad respect for the Dusty Wheel. I've never watched an episode of the Dusty Wheel because I don't want spoilers.
Yeah.
So I actually I don't really fully know what the vibe is, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah,
you know?
It's gonna be fun. We're very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
So I have a question for you, Clarooster. Mm-hmm. Before we get into the chapter by chapter breakdown, we always do here at the Nerdy Wordy Book Club. How are you feeling about the end of the book in a global sense?
Well,
there it is.
I got you. Okay. Well, it definitely I felt like this book actually moved fairly quickly, and then the last 100 pages of this book moved at light speed.
Yes, I agree with that.
Everything happened all at once, and I was like, oh my god. And I literally couldn't stop. And I immediately wanted to pick up the next book, and I was like, no, I have to wait. I can't. I have to wait 2 weeks. I finished it. I finished the book several days ago, and wow. Mm-hmm.
Well, and what's so enticing about the next book coming out of the end of The Dragon Reborn is that this could go anywhere. I genuinely have no idea what could happen next because it's so open-ended in terms of the possibilities.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to get into the next book once we're allowed to start reading it after next week's episode when we do the full book recap.
Yeah.
I liked the end of this book quite a bit. We'll get into a couple of things that I wish we could have spent more time with. Mm-hmm. Because I do feel like the end of this book moved very fast through some very big things.
Yes.
And there's a couple of things that I wish had a little bit more time dedicated to them. But other than that, I thought that this was a really fantastic ending. And, it really sets up a lot of new stakes and a lot of new possibilities for where the book is going to go. And I'm super excited for the Shadow Rising is the next one, right? I'm super excited for that.
Yeah. We've, I did notice some people this morning in the live chat were talking about breaking up the next book into maybe 5 parts because it is so hefty. So we're gonna let you guys know what the breakdown is gonna be next week. But
we're also gonna be reading the next book from this show's gonna change a lot because we're gonna be recording from different countries.
Yes.
The next few episodes will be happening from around the world, so that'll be fun. We actually bought a new laptop because it has the ability to stream the show.
Yes.
So we can take the show on the road with us.
Yes, because we had all these trips kind of several of them planned out already, and so yeah, so that'll be fun. We're going to be streaming this from Calgary, from Jamaica.
Maybe if we can find an internet connection good enough, we'll be streaming an episode of the show from Jamaica.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So let's dive into this book.
So where did we last leave off, Clarus? I ask you this every week and you never have an answer.
Well, because it just like blends in so well. I'm pretty sure we left off. Hang on, I think I can actually do this one.
Okay.
Pretty sure we left off, and Matt was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go sneak into the palace."
Yeah, that is exactly it. Chapter 46, where we begin today, is Matt climbing Rand's wall.
Rand's wall. Ian Cook,
thank you so much for joining the Nargs.
We
Welcome
appreciate it.
Matt climbs Rand's wall. And Nathan Prime says, "What brings you to Calgary?" It's my birthday.
And that's where we're from.
At the end of the month. And that's where we're from. So I'm going to be in there to be with my family and to go to the Calgary Fan Expo. So if you are going to be at the Calgary Fan Expo at the end of the month, hit us up.
There. Blue, also thank you for becoming
4 months.
4 months of a narg at a nerd table.
What? Matt climbs Rand's wall. Okay, chapter 46. We're doing this. We are doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Matt goes on a stealth mission. And he's sneaking around the garden. A garden we're familiar with, obviously. Mm-hmm. And he overhears the plot to kill Elaine, Egwene, and Nynaeve.
He overhears the plot of the next book.
No, the plot of this book.
No, I know.
Yeah.
The way you said a plot.
Oh, Brother Tarwin's Gap 2. Thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
Can't wait to see you on the Disco on Sunday. And just a fun fact, the first 2 books were Jordan's original first book manuscript. Helps make sense of the repetition. That'd be both. Thank you so much.
Gotcha.
Can you imagine if this was one book?
That would be insanity. Orky the Eater, thank you as well.
Orky the Eater, thank you so much.
Becoming a 4-month narg.
4-month narg. Yeah, so he literally just... The guy is spelling out his evil plan with the window open.
I know. My favorite part of this, honestly, is that Matt was like so out of it the last time they were here, but he does remember Rand's wall.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you know what? I'm just really lucky, and so I remember the parts that actually matter. And I remember he's like, I don't even half believe it, but I'm gonna go try anyways.
Yeah.
And then he does. Yeah, climbs the wall. He runs into casual Forsaken.
Yep.
And his minion, and they're like, "Yep, kill the daughter heir, kill the others, just get rid of them." And I was like,
well, and what I really loved about this is there is an element of this plot that reveals that the Forsaken are moving against one another, but are not openly moving against one another.
Yes.
And so Lord Gabriel needs Komar to kill the daughter heir without Bilal finding out that it was him that did it.
Yes.
Because Bilal has different plans. And I really appreciated them setting this up. I thought, I obviously, like Matt just happening to overhear this, I thought was a little, Taviran of the books.
Yeah, a little Taviran, yeah.
But yeah, it set up a really interesting dynamic among the Forsaken that I'm excited to see them play with as we meet more and more Forsaken throughout these books.
Oh, 100%.
Cyanat, thank you for joining the Nargs.
Thank you for joining the Nargs. We appreciate it.
Narg smart.
Yeah, it is fun that they don't all work together as like one team, that they are individuals with their own goals and methods. And I think that is just so much more of an interesting choice than just like the good guys and then the evil ones.
Yeah. Well, and like as much as I love the Nazgul, they are only threats in terms of strength and in terms of like how cool they look in the movies. They're corrupted. They're no characters, right?
They serve the ring. They are literally wraiths and shadows. They're not real people.
Yeah, and so like the Forsaken having desires is interesting to me. Mm-hmm. Matt runs into a man named Talanvor, and Talanvor is like, what's happening? And he's like, I have a letter. You gotta take me to Morghese. And Talanvor's like, yeah, okay. So we go in and we meet Morghese, and apparently Morghese is so hot that Matt is like, all other women in this room are nothing to me. I just want to kiss that woman.
He likes MILFs. I don't know what to tell you. Like, she is
Do you think Matt has a mommy kink?
Yeah. That makes sense. Like, because she has to be double his age.
Yeah, probably.
For Elaine to be, to be like 18 or 20-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, Matt. All right, you get it.
And so he hands her the letter, and she's still pissed at her daughter. which makes sense. You know, a letter doesn't smooth everything over.
Yeah.
But
But it is welcome.
She says some things to Matt that I think are going to be very important to the next book.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the next book is going to be very much about what she says. What does she say? I don't know, because it's code. But the important part that stuck out to me was words said in anger can be repented, which felt like code. Because what does that mean in this situation, in their relationship right now? They haven't spoken to each other.
Yeah, and
Morghese has not said anything to Elaine at this point, right?
Yeah, and that's and when we know that, like, I'm pretty sure it's Tom believes that there's something in the letter that's also code, right? Like, they clearly have their own personal method of communication, right? And like, it's smart, as you would, you know, the queen and and the like daughter heir, like, it's one of those things where it makes a lot of sense, and it makes sense that absolutely nobody knows it in the world except for you two, right? Because like, and so I'm interested to find out, like, what's actually going on between them. Yeah,
that just that line in particular stuck out to me because there isn't a time when Morghese says anything in anger to Elaine.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what could be repented here. Methany, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super duper chat.
Talanvor is the same guy that Galad ran into book 1 to tell on Elaine. I hope you'll feel better soon. Oh, thank you. That's interesting. I did not.
Thank you, Methany.
I did not remember him from that.
Yeah, I didn't remember either.
So Matt is about to be like, oh, also, there's a guy here who wants to murder your daughter, and then he looks up and that guy is in the room.
Yeah, and he's like, maybe not.
He was so distracted by those feminine looks of Morghese that he didn't even notice Gabriel was there at first.
Yeah. And Morghese is not all there. Morghese
maybe,
is,
yeah.
Yeah, Morghese does not seem...
Just another false dragon. Thank you for joining the Norgs.
Thank you for joining the Norgs. Yeah, no, Morghese does not seem all there. I think she is under some kind of magical influence. Because even Talanvor is suspicious of it.
Yeah.
Right? As he escorts Matt out.
Oh, he didn't know it was him until he spoke. That's true. Yeah. It was him speaking.
He heard his voice. Yeah. Yes, that was
Melinda Craft, thank you for joining the Narcs.
Thank you, Melinda. Welcome on in.
Yeah, so Gabriel is the plotter. He is obviously going to be one of the Forsaken. We don't know who yet, I don't think.
No, I don't think we have his Forsaken name.
Yeah, but I called that. Now, the thing I didn't call, because I was under the assumption last week, right? My prediction for the end of the book was that Matt, Tom were going to have to save Morghese from Gabriel.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what's going to happen, guaranteed. Nope, I was wrong. Matt straight up leaves. But
like, nah.
Before he leaves, he does, over here, Gabriel wants Morghese to marry into the Sun Throne and become the Queen of Cairhien.
Yeah. Well, and plots.
What?
Like,
what was that?
I don't like.
Well, plots.
I don't know. I mean, Cairhien is the map is a mess right now. Like, with everybody at war with one another, I'm like, this is not gonna go well for anybody.
Yeah, but I understand Gabriel's plot here, right? Like, if he wants to influence more, and he has the influence of Morghese, it makes sense to him being like, so you should marry into that throne, so that I am the speaker behind two countries, not just one.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense for him, right?
Yeah, have your eggs in more than one country, so to speak.
Although I have to imagine the Queen of Andor marrying into Cairhien would settle that civil war a little bit. So I do wonder if the goal of the dark side is chaos, would settling down the chaos... I'm assuming other Forsaken would be upset that the chaos of the civil war was settled down in order for Gabriel to have this kind of leg up on them in terms of his influence over the world.
Oh, somebody would be upset. Yeah. The Forsaken seem like freaking high schoolers to me.
I also really enjoyed. I like that Matt was like, I was there to visit Elsa Grinwell.
Yeah.
It was a nice touch.
Yeah. Well, you know, the best way to lie is to put some like parts truth in it, right? So.
And what's funny is that he's not lying. He did visit Elsa Grinwell, but it wasn't Elsa Grinwell. It was actually Lanfear.
Yeah, it was Lanfear disguised Yeah, it's very weird.
So Matt just keeps running into Forsaken and not knowing it.
What a guy.
Well,
so lucky.
That luck. So Telenvor, we're into chapter 47 now. Telenvor leads Matt out, and like you said, he at the kind of end of their conversation, he's like, what are you actually doing here?
Yeah.
Are you an actual Andor man? And Matt is like, yes. 100%. I mean that with no sarcasm. And he's like, aren't you? And Telenvor's like, oh, I'm 100% for Morghese.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge. Telenvor is going to be important.
Yeah. He's definitely going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way he doesn't.
I think that Telenvor is going to be a big part of the saving Morghese from Gabriel plot.
Yeah, I hope so, which I'm sure is going to be part of the next book. You know, there's no way that, like, Elaine is going to... Well, I don't know. I guess Elaine wouldn't really, like, know what's... No, Matt, I'm sure... No, Matt doesn't tell them.
In this book, but I think he will at the beginning of the next one.
But at the end of this book, he's like, I'm gonna leave.
I don't think he actually does. I think he wants to. Matt keeps saying what he wants to do, and then he doesn't do it. Matt did not want to go save the girls, but then he goes and does it anyway. Matt says a lot of things about what he would like to do with his time, and then he ends up doing what the Taviran wheel nonsense needs him to.
Right.
One of the reasons that Telenvor thinks that Morghese is speaking in code is the line, I miss my quiet talks with Shariam in her study.
Yeah, he's like, do you know what that means? And Matt's like, dude, bro, no, what? Like,
but we know that Morghese was not having quiet talks in that study. She was getting spanked. She was getting spanked.
Yeah.
Code.
Mm-hmm. There's something fishy going on there.
Maybe there was Morse code in the spankings.
No.
Like long, short, long, short. Or maybe it's like left and right. Like left is long and right cheek is short. So you're like left, right, left, left.
Oh my god. Could you imagine Shariam is actually like the leader of like the Black Aja and is communicating with them by spanking them?
It's a code. It's definitely a code.
Oh god, wow.
Matt flees immediately to the Queen's blessing. And we get to hang out with our good friend Basil Gill. And Basil
He's back.
Basil introduces us to a concept that we haven't heard about in Camelin yet, but that we keep hearing in every city, which is that he's having dreams that aren't his own.
Yeah.
And those dreams started when Gabriel arrives. Why is it that the Forsaken cause dreams in everybody? You'd think, like, it almost seems like bad. It seems lazy on their part to give away their positioning.
No, I think it's a sense of manipulation, right? Because the people in Tyr later on seem like just like dull and like defeated. Nobody's like sleeping right. Everyone's like confused and anxious by their dreams. Like, you know, like I've had nightmares where they like affect my day the next day because they make me feel a certain way and I don't like it. And I think that it's actually like a method of manipulation of the general populace because it like if they are tired or if they are out of sorts in any way, they are just that much easier to control and manipulate. So
yeah, I also think there's an element of it that is like no one seems to know that the dreams are coming from Forsaken. Like even like Moraine barely puts it together. So I guess it's not really giving anything up because they're under the assumption that no one is like looking for this from them, which would explain that a little bit, I think. Otherwise, it would be like everyone in that town's having really bad dreams all of a sudden. It's probably Forsaken we should go deal with that, but that's not what's happening.
But also, Rand causes dreams.
That's true, yeah.
People.
But Rand is of a similar power level as a Forsaken, right? Like,
yeah,
so
we see that. I don't know. It's interesting, and isn't it?
Moiraine, the reason for it is Moiraine brings up that they can shield their dreams.
Yeah, doesn't she say that like Samuel is being lazy or something by not shielding his dreams? Yeah. So it is. I think that there's two halves of it. I think that that you can either use it to your advantage or Samuel isn't being lazy.
Yeah, or it's intentional.
And it's intentional. But that like strategy does also have potential to give away things that maybe you don't want them to. But if it's a bunch of like common folk, like what the heck are they gonna do about it anyways?
Yeah, I don't know.
And especially in a place like Tyr, Where the like poor people are like, are you kidding? I couldn't go to the guard. They'd like, they'd lock me away forever, right?
Absolutely.
You can't say a damn thing about anybody. So, yeah.
Matt is like, all right, well, no one's gonna save the girls but me, and so I gotta go save these girls. And then Tom is like, I like those girls. I'm coming. And then Matt gives Basil money. He gives him a pouch of money, and he says that Gabriel and I have a wager. What is the wager that they have?
They don't. They didn't make a wager. Matt has just turned it into a game for himself.
Right, but what is the wager?
Who can get there first, right?
I guess, but what? I didn't really understand this.
All right.
Matt gives him money as if he's betting on something, but I don't know what he's betting on. And there's no stake. Like, there's nothing he can win except his own money back.
I think he's betting on himself. Like, he's betting on his luck. I think everything is a wager to him now, right? Like, that is just part of who he is. And so I don't think it's meant to be, like, super literal, but yeah, it's meant to be more of, like, a character.
Yeah, I think it was just weird. It was weird that he's like, hold on to this big bag of money for me because I have a wager with someone else that is completely unrelated to you as a character, Basil. And is the wager that, like, I'm gonna win and come back for this?
I don't know. He likes giving money to people.
I don't know. I'm hopeful that we'll figure it out in the next book. Because it feels like it means something. I just couldn't figure out what it meant.
Yeah. Excuse you.
People in chat are saying that Matt has a race with Gabriel's assassin. Yeah, but obviously. Like, my problem with that is that, like, that has nothing to do with him giving this bag of money to Basil Gill.
Yeah, I think it was just more so that, like, maybe he's like, yo, I was a dick last time I was here, so...
Claude Complex says he's trying to engage his luck in the quest to save the girls.
By putting money on it.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think that what I don't like about that is that his luck doesn't feel like it's tied to, like, financial gain. It feels like it's tied to just luck. And, like, luck isn't necessarily a money thing.
Yeah, but I don't know if he understands that, right? Like, he just notices that he gets lucky.
Mm-hmm. It was just a weird line where he was like, Lord Gable and I have a wager. And I was like, do you? Or are you trying to stop him from killing girls? Like, that's not a bet.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe it is his way of trying not to be a hero.
He's just being dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to be a scoundrel, but he's actually a hero.
Yeah.
So he's behaving.
I'm not a hero. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He is Luke Skywalker, but he wants to be Han Solo, like all of us. Everyone wants to be Han Solo, but there's only one Han Solo.
Yeah.
And it's Harrison Ford. God damn, that guy's cool. All right, so chapter 48. Y'all, chapter 48 is the last chapter before things kind of get crazy. Because chapter 49 is literally insane. Chapter 48, the girls land in Tyr, and they're seasick. They're not doing all right. Nynaeve can't keep her head out of a bucket. And let me tell you, as someone who has worked on a cruise ship, girl, I feel you.
Yeah, I don't understand seasickness, but it looks awful.
When we were on the ship, the only night that we did not sleep in the same bed when we were working on the cruise ship was when we were in this crazy storm. We were coming back up from the Bahamas to New York, and we hit this crazy storm on a Friday night, and it literally felt like the ship was falling like 10 feet. And then we'd rise up, and it would fall like 10 feet. And
it was so weird.
Clarice was like, let's go to bed. And I was like, I love you so much. I'm going to go back to my own room, and I'm going to sleep in my own room for once, because I literally cannot lie in bed with you like this. I was so sick. And you went and had a great sleep. You were so rested the next day. And I went and I felt awful all night. It was terrible.
Sorry.
And I was usually fine. Like, I wasn't seasick on the boat, but like that one storm, oh my God, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Everything on the ship was canceled because it wasn't safe to move around.
Yeah, and like, and so many guests were,
so many guests were sick. It was really bad.
Yeah, so that's Nynaeve, and then Egwene is holding on like a little bit better at least, and then Elaine seems to be mostly fine. She's like, I guess I've been on a boat before.
Yeah, you Elaine had your experience. I had the Egwene experience. I wasn't full Nynaeve. I never threw up, but
yeah,
poor
Nynaeve.
So they get to Tyr, and they're trying not to go to an inn because those 13 Black Aja might be looking for him. So Nynaeve goes big brain.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve goes big brain and finds the wisdom or the wise woman.
The wise woman
of Tyr. Alhuin.
I don't know.
And they play 20 questions.
I never thought of it like that, but yes, you're 100% right. They do. They play 20 questions.
This scene was where I was like, oh my god, this is what it must be like to watch me find another Star Wars, like a deep Star Wars fan. Yeah. Like, this must be how exhausting it is to be in the same room as me when I find out someone has like as deep a love of Star Wars as I do.
Yeah, I feel like that's me when if like another Aragon nerd comes up to me, I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, I also wonder if any of these plants are actually have the properties that like Robert Jordan says that they like that's in here, if they're like based in anything, or if this is just completely made up. Because I was like, sure.
I'm sure some of it is real.
I feel like some of it has to be. But I was just kind of like, I was like, yeah, sure, whatever you tell me, I'm gonna take as fact. I'm gonna be that guy who's like, yeah, my grandmother said that this will like knock people out, and it doesn't. It cures headaches.
Oh yeah, no, I know nothing about herbs and stuff.
No,
I take brand name medication. You want to know what I took before this show? Dayquil. You want to know what I took last night before bed? Tylenol. I take brand name medication because I don't know, y'all. I just do what the box says.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just when I was reading it, I was just super interested.
I understood Egwene and Elaine being like, can you two please shut up? Guys, there's more important stuff going on right now than like which tea characters.
Yeah, they're like,
But this is also where something this is where there's a switch for me in Egwene and Nynaeve's relationship, where Egwene and Nynaeve, they've had problems before.
Yeah.
But like Egwene and Nynaeve are at each other's throats, and I don't really know why. It seems like it like escalated very quickly all of a sudden.
Yeah, and it did. I definitely think that like the foundations were there before. Throughout this book, they've bickered a bit and definitely had some problems with one another. And especially from Egwene's perspective, she's getting like more and more bothered by Nynaeve and how she's like, she's not the wisdom anymore. You know, like we're all equals, and she doesn't feel like she's being treated as an equal. But I think that being on the boat and the seasickness and the stress of like the mission that they're on, I definitely think escalated that pretty quickly. Like they do not like each other right now.
Yeah, it ramped up somewhat out of nowhere for me, and I didn't love it.
Okay.
And what's tough is that like I really liked Egwene and Nynaeve's relationship in the tower stuff in this book. I felt like they had like a push and pull that was interesting, and Egwene, Nynaeve kind of pushes it a little bit, and Egwene overreacts a little bit, and so they're constantly at odds. And I totally get Elaine's position where she's like, what are you two doing? Like there's more important stuff going on in the world right now, and like
Elaine straight up slaps her.
Elaine slaps Egwene. So Egwene says,
dang.
Alhuin lets them stay.
Yes.
And Egwene goes, wow, you're starting to manipulate. You really are nice at that. You're starting to manipulate like Moiraine. And Elaine walks across the room and smacks her across the face. She gets the full Chris Rock treatment. And
wow, you had to bring that.
Elaine is just like, keep Moiraine's name out of your effing mouth.
Oh my God, no, we're not doing that.
I'm just saying, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And this gets back to something that I've felt for a while, which is my feeling that Nynaeve needs to get over her feelings about Moiraine, because Nynaeve has way too much evidence that none of this is Moiraine's fault.
Yeah.
Way too much evidence that Moiraine never did anything really wrong.
And Nynaeve will literally like fight with herself and be like, well, yeah, I probably could have saved Rand and Egwene if Moiraine hadn't showed up. Probably.
But the Trollocs still would have showed up. Like, this is where I'm like, Nynaeve, because
Nynaeve, you're better than this.
I've been open. I like Nynaeve a lot more in this book, right? I think Nynaeve is becoming a character that I really do adore, other than the way that she responds to anything relating to Moiraine, to me, is getting ridiculous.
So irrational.
It makes no sense. You have...
Like, she hates Moiraine as much as she hates Liandrin.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, I'm like, Liandrin is a straight-up murderer, dark friend serving the Dark One, or Balsma, or whatever. I like, it. You hate Moiraine that much? Like, why?
Well, and so, Hacia Elder Hammond brings up that Nynaeve blames Moiraine for everything that's happened in the last 3 books. That is literal insanity. Yeah. Moiraine did not cause any of it. And, like, it's getting to the point where it's tough to be on her side at all in it, because you're like, Nynaeve, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, like, you're like, come on, you are not that dumb. Like, you know how things, like, if you stop and, like, think about it 4 or 5 seconds, it doesn't hold up. And, like, the only thing that I can think of is she's, like, jealous and really likes Lan, but, like, I hate that. Like, I hate that that's the reason for your character to, like, have this unnecessary hatred.
Yeah.
Like, I just...
It feels tropey and,
yeah.
like, yeah. It's just not my favorite.
We talked about it, and I definitely think that Robert Jordan struggling to write women is a little bit more apparent in this book.
Yeah, as much as he wants to play with gender dynamics in the Wheel of Time, the way that he writes female relationships to each other and female behavior is not always the most progressive.
It's a little one-sided, yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost reductive at times.
Yeah. And, like, I don't think that I don't think that any of it has, like, ill intent or anything like that. I just want to be, like, very clear. Mm-hmm. But it is noticeable, and obviously this man grew up in a different generation.
Yeah.
And had different lived experiences than we do now. And, we're very lucky to live in a time where we're able to, like, challenge social norms, whereas, I don't know. I would not have wanted to live in, like, the 60s. I'm just throwing that out there right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So Alhuan leaves to go get Juilin. Mm-hmm. I think. I don't know how to pronounce these people's names. But I did like that the thief catcher's name kind of rhymed with Huron.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they called him, like, Sandor several times after that.
Well, yeah, Juilin Sandor.
Yeah,
Sandor is his name,
I just kept calling him in my head Sandor Clegane. Like, I just kept calling him the Hound in my head when I was reading it, and it made
Sandor Clegane. That's funny.
It just made me chuckle. I don't know. Because is he a sniffer?
I don't think he
so.
is.
Because I'm pretty sure Huron was a sniffer, but was saying, oh no, I'm actually this thing to hide that he's a sniffer? Okay, cool.
I think that this guy is like a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he's like Dog the bounty hunter.
But not like a murderer. Like, you pay him and he will, like, tell you...
No, like a real world bounty hunter.
Yeah.
But bounty hunters are real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do kill people occasionally by, like... those situations can get heated and difficult, but his goal is to bring him in alive, right? Chapter 49, y'all, we need to keep on moving because Alhuan returns with Juilin, and they hire him. They're like, "All right, dude, you want to go look for these 13 women for us?" And he's like, "Sure, yeah. If they're together, it won't be too hard. If they're apart, might be a little bit harder, but I'm on it." And then Nynaeve goes in on how dangerous they are. And Egwene and Elaine are like, wow, you're really giving up a lot of information. And she's like, yeah, because he needs to know.
Yeah, if he died because of them, that would be pretty crappy, like...
And so they go to bed.
He's Jessica Jones.
He's not Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones would not have given the girls up.
That's true. That is... Oh, I love her so much.
So they go to bed. Guys, chapter 49 is literally nuts. The number of, like, sections I had to take my notes in because of how many characters are in this chapter, it's going to get crazy. But you know what happens when they go to bed? Egwene, she puts on her ring.
Yep.
And she goes to Turan Riad.
Turan Riad.
Sure.
There's so many syllables and words. Like,
and like apostrophes that I'm like, are the apostrophes like sounds in this language?
Yeah. The one that pisses me off every time I see it on the page, because it's such a larger word than anything else, is the Menetherendurel. The Menetherendurel. The like
the river?
But everything's like double lettered, and it just, the word is so large. I'm like, why?
That's interesting. I always, in my head, it's Menethrendrel.
I'm not even sure. But
yeah.
like, yeah, some of the words in this series are like egregiously long, and I'm like, why?
Yeah. So Egwene can control her dreams now. She's kind of figured out how to like go to places that she wants to go in Teleran Riyadh.
Which is cool. I was like worried we would just be with her like fumbling around for a while. I'm glad that both her and Perrin are actually like figuring out how these things work.
Yeah, and so she goes immediately to the Heart of Stone, and the 13 are just sitting there chilling. And Leandra looks at her and is like, "Hey, girl,
yeah,
how you doing?"
Yeah.
And so she wakes up, and this is the first time she's ever just woken up on her own without having to be woke up by the girls. And they're like, "What's going on?" And Egwene's like, "They know we're here.
Yeah,
they're waiting for us."
Which at that point you would think you should try a different tactic. You know what I mean? If they look at you.
Well, this is the first time they've acknowledged her in the dream world.
Yeah, I would get the hell out of there.
But they're there to stop them. They can't leave.
Yeah, but they're there. So the reason they go to Tyr is because they know that there is a trap there, and they're doing everything that they can to outwit that trap. And then they just stay in the same place and don't. I don't know.
They have no plan.
No plan.
And
zero plan.
Even if they were to, and this is where I have no idea what's going on with them, is that they have there's no reason for them to think that they can win a fight.
There's 13 of them, and Nynaeve is
and they're
super
all
powerful,
fully trained Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
So, yes, Nynaeve is powerful, but Nynaeve doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
It is so insane to me that these three women, and that Sawan was like, you know what? That sounds like I'm gonna send the three of you.
Go spring that trap. Go get it. Go spring it.
Go get it, girl.
Yeah.
I believe in you. 3 against 13 of them, fully. What did they think was gonna happen?
I don't know.
So of course they get immediately captured, but we'll get to that. So then we cut over to Matt and Tom. Matt and Tom arrive in Tyr, and they get a room and they set out to find the girls. And Tom is like, all right, it's raining, dude. Maybe we shouldn't do this right now. And he starts to cough a little bit. And they go room to room a little bit. Go inn to inn.
Inn to inn.
And Matt is like, fine, you know what? Let's go back. We haven't found anything. One more inn. Last one. We're going to walk into a random inn. Mm-hmm. And this got into something really interesting. They walk in and Komar's sitting there. And Matt has this realization that his luck is only good when it's random. Mm-hmm. Which I was like, oh. He's like, I'm really good at dice, but my luck doesn't work on cards, and it doesn't work on, anything with, skill or, intention. It has to be random.
Yeah. You can't methodically check every single inn along the row. You have to just find one and walk into it and be like, yeah, that one.
Yeah, and that makes taking advantage of this superpower of his harder, right? Because making situations random is very hard to do.
Yes, for sure.
But the randomness of finding Komar leads to a game of dice. Komar's got some weighted dice. He's cheating. He's a dirty little cheater. And Matt, I don't understand cheating at dice. Maybe if you just want to be rich, but if you're just playing for, it doesn't seem like they're playing for very much money, because it doesn't seem like anyone in this inn has a lot of money, and Komar seems rich. So if you're playing for, pennies, why cheat? What's the fun in that? What do you get out of it?
It's like a pissing contest. Men, get, all, I have to be the biggest dick in the room, right? And so him winning up everyone's money is, a power play. Right? He's like, I'm the big fish in this room, and people are avoiding him and have weird feelings about him because of it, right?
I guess there's no fun in that.
He probably has money, right? He works.
He's rich.
Yeah,
he's a rich, but this is my problem, right? He's you're he can't get any enjoyment out of it because he knows he's gonna win.
I think he just likes shitting all over everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, we know he's a bad dude. He's gonna go murder these people for the Dark One.
I understand cheating for money that, like, changes your situation, right? Like, if you're cheating because you need to make money, then that totally makes sense. But this was like, I was like, all right, dude, like, you're winning pennies, I guess. Congrats. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's literally he's just a bad dude.
I like Adam Badger says flexing on the poor. I guess that's it.
Yeah. Well, no, because like he's terrified of the person he works for.
Yeah.
And like feels powerless in that situation, and so he's just being like, haha, I'm better than you to all the poor people in the same room as him.
That just sounds so like miserable. Like
yeah,
if you're gonna be evil, at least have fun. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be a bad person, there's so many ways to like enjoy being a bad person.
He probably
Why choose such a boring evil?
He probably enjoys it. It's like one of the little things that he can actually accomplish.
God, I don't get it. I would just be like, I would get bored. Like, I would want to move on to something else because, like, what's the point? Gambling is fun because of the randomness, right? Like, but if you take the randomness out and you're just, exactly the dice are gonna throw.
Yeah.
After like 20 minutes, I'd be like, I need to do something else because this sucks.
Yeah, it's like when people were cheating in Fall Guys.
Oh, like, yeah.
It's like, why? Like, everyone knows you're cheating. It's not like you seem like you're good at the game or anything. You just look like an asshole.
Yeah, but...
And they don't care, right?
But here's the thing. Those are people who don't have good things going for them in life.
This guy doesn't either.
Yeah, he does, though. He's rich. He is, like, on this mission for, like, his lord.
He has money, but he is working for someone that he probably is terrified of and hates, and obviously is a dark friend for some reason, has probably had some horrible thing happen to him.
I'm just saying, if you have money and you're in an inn, there is more fun stuff to do than to cheat at dice.
He didn't want to write in a bunch of, like, prostitutes, so he wrote in this instead. It's like, this is where he's gonna have fun.
That's not the word I expected to just be thrown out on the podcast.
What?
I don't know how he's gonna write in prostitutes, but...
No, that's what I mean. Like,
Robert Jordan.
Robert Jordan.
I was like...
He's not gonna write. No, he's gonna
anyway,
be like...
this does not matter. What matters is that Matt straight up just kills him.
Yeah. Accidentally.
Accidentally. Space Sue, thank you for that super chat. I need everyone to know I have the biggest eggplant in the chat, so you all soon know. Space Zoo!
Oh, God. Uh-huh.
Oh, your eggplant is so large.
So large. Well done.
So large.
Well done.
I can't wait to cut it up and eat it. What eggplant? You roast a eggplant?
I don't like
over
it.
A campfire? It tastes good. A little seasoning salt, a little
we're moving
paprika. On. Just throw a little paprika on there.
We're moving on.
Yeah, so Matt challenges him, throws his weighted dice, and still manages to win. At which point I was like, that's not luck anymore. That's defying gravity.
Well, here's the thing. Weighted dice won't, like, as from what I understand, and chat is probably going to tell me that I'm wrong, but what I understand from weighted dice is that they are slightly weighted, so that the chances of you rolling a certain thing are higher, but not that you will roll this thing every time, because then you'd be able to feel it. Like, you could pick up the dice and know immediately that they were weighted, right?
My understanding is that weighted dice will always land one way.
Okay.
If they're thrown right.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I have never seen a pair of weighted dice in my life, and so this is just from what I have read.
My friend Oliver had a set of weighted dice, and they were always thrown the exact same way.
But I feel like you'd know that they were weighted immediately then if you held them.
Why?
Because because the weight in them is so uneven to skew, because to be able to throw anyway and have them land on the same thing every time, they would have to be very heavily weighted.
I don't think they'd have to be that heavily weighted, right? You only need gravity to pull a little bit stronger towards one side.
Yeah, but with the randomness of them hitting against one another.
That's why they have to be thrown right.
Apparently I'm right, so I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would just imagine that they're like slightly weighted so that you are more likely to get a certain result as opposed to I get this every single time, because that's super sus, Huh,
my friend's weighted dice were not, like, you couldn't tell, but they would always roll sixes.
I also wonder if there is a way to roll weighted dice.
There is a proper way to roll them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a big part of his thing was like, if you rolled them like just randomly and they bounce into each other and whatever, then you never know what was gonna happen. But if you rolled them he would roll them a certain way. He was a big like magician, like that was his like personality. And so he could roll them and get the same thing every time.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, Matt straight up challenges him and is like, let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what's up, Komar? And he's like, I didn't say my name was Komar. And then Matt's like, let's fight. And Matt wins again because Matt doesn't lose at anything.
Matt literally breaks this dude's back.
Yeah, like, he does the full like flip you over. Like Matt goes on his back, does the full like 2 feet to the stomach kick and throw. Yeah, and the dude dies.
Yeah, straight up dies.
And the innkeeper is like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Get out of here. Yeah. I'm gonna tell the defenders that Rand did it." Yeah,
he's like, "I'm gonna tell them some ginger guy with light eyes did it." And I was like, Rand? Like, it's literally my first thought. I love that the innkeeper's like, yeah, we didn't like that guy much, so just get out of here, and I'm not going to say anything. I was like, okay, well, that's what you get for being a dick, Komar.
But also, like, innkeepers in Wheel of Time seem very comfortable with people dying in their main rooms. We see a lot of people die in, like, the, like, main rooms of inns.
There's, like, the 6 gray men.
Yeah, and everyone is just like, yeah, all right. Do you want to throw those bodies in the lake?
To be fair, she has worked for Marine for like 12 years, so...
Oh, I'm just saying this is not the first inn where someone has died in the...
No, it's not. It's really not.
So the innkeeper tells them to leave, and Matt and Tom do that because they're smart. And they keep looking. They haven't found the girls yet, but a few days pass, and they're looking and looking and looking, and Tom is getting sicker. And at this point, she had already read the chapter.
Tom's got COVID.
I was reading it, and Tom was coughing, and I was coughing. And I was like, babe, they're going to go to the wise woman because Tom is sick, and that's how they're going to find the girls. And I was like, God damn, Robert Jordan sets things up.
Yeah.
He sets things up. He sets the pins up to fall down, and you get it.
Yeah.
And I love the way he writes because it is coincidence that isn't coincidence.
Yeah, it's not this came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. It's set up and it's good writing. That's what it is. It is good writing, and it never feels super contrived. And I do think that Robert Jordan has this the idea of the like tavern also like helps with a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But this was like that absolutely makes sense that this is exactly how this would happen.
The reason why Nynaeve went there totally makes sense, and the reason why Tom and Matt go there totally makes sense. It is creating situations where characters run into each other for totally like in-world sensical reasons, and I appreciate that so much.
100%.
Of course, that isn't exactly what happens. But we'll get to that in a second. Because first, we have to go over to chapter 50. Also in Tyr is Perrin and the crew.
Yep, everybody's in Tyr.
And before we get to the end of the book, much like a Harry Potter book, we've got to go through our exams at the end of the book, right? Uh-huh. And so Perrin takes his blacksmithing final.
Wow. That was good. That was very funny.
Yeah, so there's a little smithy attached to the inn that Perrin and that team is staying in. And Perrin just walks in and starts working.
Also, a smithy attached to an inn just seems like a really weird, like...
I think it's like the block of the street. It's just like next door. Because I think they have to go outside to go into the inn.
No, for sure, but it's just like... that you would build your inn, or I mean, I guess if the smithy was built afterwards, it's just like very weird. There's a word for it, where like city planning, but like it just feels like very like odd that those would be the shops that were like.
I don't know. I feel like it probably started as a small town, right? And so it probably is just this is Main Street. Why wouldn't if you go to like a Main Street in like an old West kind of style town? There's only like 6 things and they're all like on a block together. I don't think it's that weird that they're side by side.
I guess it's one of those things where like a blacksmith shop is going to be really loud, and if you got an inn where people are like trying to, well, I guess
but the inn common room is going to be loud, and the blacksmith's not working at 3:00 in the morning.
No, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that different. I don't think it's weird.
Yeah.
So Perrin walks in and starts working, and the guy is like, hey, "You're pretty good at this. Here's a hammer as a gift."
Yeah, basically.
And
it's like, my 3 apprentices just left, the freaking idiots. Those are their vests. Do you want one? Like,
do you want a job? And Perrin's like, I don't know how long I'm staying. He's like, well, as long as you're here.
Yeah.
Feel free. And Zareen is just sitting there watching him.
Just watching the whole time. Now, here's the thing. I kind of get it because Moiraine and Lan have said they cannot go far, right? They're off doing their superhero stuff. So they're like, you guys need to stay close to the inn so that we know where you are, so that if anything happens, right, we don't have to go looking for you in a giant city. So I don't know, what else is Zareen going to do? Like, she could go shopping, I guess, but she doesn't seem like that kind of gal. Yeah. So she's just going to watch a big sweaty man hit some iron.
Well, and
why not?
You know, there's this guy on TikTok who splits wood. He chops wood, and women like to duet those videos and just like look really horny while they duet his videos. And so I think that this is the same thing. Like, I think that watching Perrin shirtless work on metal is just like,
yeah. I mean,
Serene's like, just like, this is her foreplay.
Yeah, I mean, the Aes Sedai watch the warders practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hot. Physical activity is sexy. Yeah,
Viola's there for the gun show.
Literally.
So they go back and they run into Moiraine and Lan, who've been out getting some info. And we get the same scene again. Because in a few chapters earlier, Moiraine bursts into Perrin's room and is like, Samael is running the city.
Yes.
And then here we get Balal is running the city. And I have a question about this. Mm-hmm. How does Moiraine know which Forsaken it is? Like, because no one else recognizes them. So does Moiraine have access to like their trading cards?
Their Gwent cards?
Yeah, like, because Moiraine seems to know exactly who they are. She's like, oh yeah, it's Balal. And you're like, do you know what he looks like? Because I don't think any images of them would have survived 3,000 years.
Well, she might, right? We know that when she went to those 2 Aes Sedai in that random village, she learned some stuff. So they might have physical descriptions.
Descriptions. Okay, yeah. I just was like, it would be weird for there to be like photos of them and for everyone not to recognize them, because you think those photos would get passed around.
Yeah. But like...
They have a tell!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I hate it.
Moiraine has a tell, you guys. And her tell is being able to find Forsaken. I find it really interesting that Moiraine is like, oh yeah, that's Balal. And you're like, how do you know?
Yeah, she's probably just done a lot of studying, trying to thwart the Dark One for the last, 50 years. I don't even know how old Moiraine is.
But also, did she run into him?
She can probably sense, like, super strong...
Who he is? No. I understand that she can sense his strength. But, like, why does Balal feel different to Moiraine than Samael does? It's not like they've been in the same room.
Yeah.
So, like, it feels weird that she's like, it's Balal. It would be more... I think it would make more sense to me if she's like, it's a Forsaken.
Well, because here's the thing, like, Balal does have, like, a heron-marked blade and is, like, a sword master.
She works for the CIA.
I mean, there are things about each one that are individual so far that we know. I don't know. That didn't stand out to me when I was reading it, that it was weird that she knew. I was just like, oh, yeah, Moiraine knows.
It just happened twice in this book, and I can't figure out why Moiraine sometimes has knowledge that I'm like, sure.
I mean,
it's gonna happen again with the Balefire later in this episode.
Yeah.
Or in this chunk.
In our episode.
In our episode, yeah. Where I'm like, oh, I guess Moiraine is at times a plot convenience.
Yes. However, she has spent decades studying these people.
Yeah.
And their methods, who they are, what they've done in the past, with what they might look like. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem unreasonable to me, but I do get it. It is a little bit convenient. I'm sure they don't have a tell. That would be the dumbest shit ever.
I mean, they might literally have a tell. It would make more sense here than it does in the show.
They have name tags, actually. They have the, like, hello, my name is...
Yeah, I don't know. It felt weird to me that she was like, oh yeah, it's Balal again. And I was like, do you know them? Like, was Moiraine around 3,000 years ago?
Yeah.
So Lan is like, Moiraine and I are going into the stone. And Perrin's like, no, I'm coming. And Lan's like, all right.
Yeah, all right, sure, whatever.
Loyal's like, I kind of want to leave. And Moraine's like, yeah, okay, you can go.
He's like, Just kidding. I just wanted you to ask me to stay. I was like, loyal.
I don't even think it's I wanted you to ask me to stay. He's like,
No.
He wants the choice.
Yeah.
And once he knows that it's his choice to stay, he chooses to stay, which I actually think is beautiful on his part.
It is. It's really well done. It was just funny. I don't know.
I really also liked
made me
him.
giggle.
I liked him being like, I have a lot of notes, but you know what? I don't have enough notes. So, like, I guess I'll stay.
I guess. It's totally just for the book. Haha. Like,
and then Zarina's like, can I leave? And Maureen's like, no, you cannot.
No, no. You stay here.
And this is the first time where Perrin calls Zarine Falcon, but not to her face.
Yeah.
Only internally does he call her Falcon at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like that little hedge between them. Perrin's trimming it, and he doesn't even know it. He's trimming her hedge.
Wow.
Chapter 51. Nynaeve is out. She's buying meat. She's upset at how expensive it is. Fair.
Yeah.
But, like, you're also not spending your own money. You're spending Swan's money, so, like, whatever.
Yeah, she's gonna make it last, though. She thinks they'll probably be there for a while.
Yeah, and so she gets back to the house, and, oops, Llewellyn betrayed them, and,
Oh, no.
they're captured again.
Yep, sure are. We do find out, though, that I was about to say Lanfear. Leandrin has definitely done some magical kind of influence on him to make him betray them. So he's not a bad dude. He just had no idea what he was getting into. And they show up. They beat up Nynaeve with air, like just pummel her, and then and take her away. And
Egwene has been beat to shit. Egwene is unconscious.
Yeah. And
like is like all her face is pulped up.
Yeah, that like how many days since like last kidnapping went back down to 0. That counter had to be restarted, unfortunately. So poor Egwene's gotta break that streak.
Yeah, and Nynaeve, Elaine, and Egwene are shielded at this point.
Yeah.
And we find out that Balal has sent for 13 Murdral in order to do whatever the ceremony is to turn them.
And then they just start screaming while the Black Aja are laughing. That was like the most horrific end to a chapter I've ever read. I don't know what was louder, the girl screaming or the other one's laughing. And I was like, what kind of dark shit is this? Like,
yeah, Nynaeve gets a hit in, but that's about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was at least a little satisfying.
But also we find out that Alhuin is like, they leave her alone. They're like, if you're silent, and she's like, I won't say anything. And Nynaeve's like, girl, I get you. Don't worry about it. Like, you're not gonna be able to change this.
You can't do anything. Don't risk your life. And you know, for them, it would be like a little, I don't know. I feel like killing off any like random civilian is less noticeable than like killing like the wise woman, right? There's only like one of them for a while, and so they probably want to draw as little attention to this as possible, and so I think it's in everyone's best interest just to like leave her alive. So it works out for her. Yeah. Thank God, because she's cool. I like her.
Yeah. And so chapter 52, Matt, he's like, Tom, you're sick, like I am right now.
Yeah.
We need to get you some medication.
Tom's got the Rona.
And so Matt takes Tom, like kind of forces him to Alhuin, and he's like, hey, I need meds. And Alhuin's like, you sound like some girls I know.
Yeah.
And Matt's like, 3 girls? She's like, yeah. They were literally just here like you missed them by a couple of hours.
And Matt's
They've been kidnapped.
Matt's like, I literally looked at this house as soon as we got here and I did it. Like he just it's like, God damn it.
And my favorite part of this chapter, basically, Matt flirts with Alhuin for some information.
Yeah.
And he finds out that the girls are in the stone, and he's like, hey, Tom, we don't have room for any more characters in the finale of this book. So Tom is going to stay with you, and you're going to take care of him? And Alhuin's like, yeah, I will.
No, Tom is too powerful. Tom is too powerful. They can't bring him along because then it would just not be fair to the Forsaken. So
yeah, and Matt goes full horn dog on her too. She's like,
yeah, I was like, okay.
He's like, or she's like, one of those girls is gonna like have to put some work in to tame you, and he's like, only you can do that. And I was like, Matt!
He likes MILFs. I'm telling you right now.
You're not
between
wrong.
her and Morghese, he's into older women.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elaine and Grain and Nynaeve, but he's into older women, so move along.
Yeah, and so that's basically all of chapter 52. It's a pretty quick one. Basically just sets up Matt is going to go towards the stone. The girls are in the stone.
Yeah.
And Perrin and Lan and Moraine are going towards... Everyone's going towards the stone.
Yeah.
And Rand maybe is too, but we haven't seen him. And like...
Well, actually, that's not true. Matt is like... Wait, was that Rand down that weird long alley or something?
We've seen, like... We know that characters have seen him.
Yeah.
I wish... My complaint about this section of the book is with how important the end is to Rand's storyline. I wish we spent a little bit more time with Rand in this section before the scene in the Heart of Stone.
Yeah.
I would have appreciated to see some of what Rand is up to, some of Rand's thinking a little bit more. And I understand why we don't. I get it. Because
I don't think he is thinking.
He is the protagonist, right? And like I missed his point of view a lot in this book.
Yeah, especially when the book is called The Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, and then this big thing happens at the end, and I don't really know what it means for him fully. Yeah. And I wish that I just had a little bit more perspective on that. And I'm hopeful that in the next book we'll get back to being with him a little bit more.
Yeah, the one thing that has been set up by Lan is he's like, there's Aiel in the city. They're just on the roofs.
Oh yeah, Lan is like, oh yeah, there's Aiel. I've seen them, and you're like, okay.
What? They're just casually hanging out on the rooftops.
And what's weird is that we've met. It's the same Aiel we've already met.
Yeah.
And like they didn't tell the girls they're also headed towards Tyr.
No, I think they followed them.
You think they followed them?
Because
I thought they were just going there because of the prophecy.
I mean, I think that they had information that then coincided with the girls going to Tyr, that they put two and two together and were like, I think that's where we need to go as well. Because they have their own prophecies and legends and stuff, and so I think they were like, you know what? I think Tyr's gonna be it. It's gonna be the thing.
Yeah. So chapter 53.
There are 10 Aiel in every photo you've ever seen.
So Perrin and Zareen are run into Moraine and Lan. And Moraine is like, it's happening now.
We're
you
going.
two need to leave. You two need to go to Tarvalon.
Yeah.
You're not going to be helpful here. And so Zareen is like, all right, I'll go tell Loyal. And Zareen runs upstairs. And they follow her. And they walk in the room. And Zareen is out. She's down for the count. And she's holding a hedgehog?
She's not holding it, but they're like nearby. Yeah, the little Terangrial hedgehog thingy.
And so Moraine and Lan are like, we don't have time to deal with this. And Perrin's like, but I do. And so he's like, Loyal, watch my back. And then I was like, I got you. The Dark One himself will not get to you.
Yeah.
I was like, Loyal,
Loyal, this is why we love you.
This is why we love Loyal. And Perrin, like, turns, he looks at Zareen, he's like, I'm coming, babe. And he runs and he, like, leaps at her and then into Dreamworld.
Yeah. It was nice to have some of the Terangrials like come back from earlier, because I thought for the most part they were gonna disappear and we wouldn't find out about any of them again. But this was a nice touch. It was really interesting.
Oh no, we're gonna find out about every single one that was stolen. Every single one that was stolen will be used at some point.
Yeah, Robert Jordan is that kind of person.
Yeah.
For sure.
So Perrin runs into Hopper in the Dreamworld, and Hopper is like upset. He's like, you are here too strongly.
Too strong.
You will die, young bull. To which Perrin responds, if I do not free the Falcon, I do not care, brother. To which Hopper responds, then we hunt, brother. And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, man, I just wanted like a hard rock to start playing.
Yeah.
Like I just was like, yeah, we hunt. This was...
Oh my God.
The last, like, 2 chapters ago ended so dark. This chapter ended so hype. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Perrin and Hopper at it again. I
was so happy that everybody at the end of this section, except for Tom, had something to do. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was doing an important, like, big thing, and it just, I loved reading the end of this book.
Yeah, which is why I think that Tom gets sidelined a little bit, is there is so much happening.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about everything having something to do is I wish that they were a little bit more connected. Though the end, what I thought was really great about the end of The Great Hunt was that final battle was very much an interconnected thing where like what was happening with different characters affected other characters.
Yeah.
This feels like 3 separate things happen.
Yeah. I agree with you for sure.
But let's get into it. Chapter 54. This one is a massive chapter with multiple point of view switches. So bear with us as we get through this. Matt finds Jewilin and the Aiel. So Matt's just like chilling on roofs. He's trying to find a way into the stone.
Yeah.
And then the Aiel just like attack him. Yeah. And he fights him off with his quarterstaff. He almost wins. And the Aiel's like,
at the end is like, you dance well. I was like,
it's like, how good is Matt with a quarterstaff? If the Aiel, like literally everyone is like, well, goddamn, you're really good at this.
Yeah, like if the Aiel are like, I don't know. He's got some weird Tavernness.
People were kind of, last week when I was like, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago, when I was like, Matt's ability with the quarterstaff seems to come out of nowhere. And people were like, no, like he just never had a quarterstaff before, so why would he be brought up? If you are this good with a quarterstaff, you are decently proficient. No, but you would be decently proficient with a lot of weapons. If you are this comfortable, and I say as someone who's trained in quarterstaff combat, like you would be proficient at general combat if you are so good with a quarterstaff that the best warriors say that, oh wow, you're really good at that. You would be at least proficient with most things. Yeah. You would be comfortable in a fight with almost any weapon, right? On like a basic level.
Oh yeah, a basic level.
You would have a general understanding of how to move in combat because you would understand what the motion of combat is.
Yeah, because we only, before the quarterstaff, see Matt with a bow, as far as I remember.
Right, but Matt is also like, oh my god, I don't know what's happening, it's all too much. And I'm like, Matt is way too good. Matt would have so much training. To get to the point where Matt would be this good with a quarterstaff, he would have trained so much that he would be a very proficient fighter. Yeah.
Thank you, Dakuna, for that one. I'm glad I have that in my head.
It's just and this is just going back to people being like, well, no, Matt was just always this good, and I'm like, book 1 Matt was not this physically capable.
No, book 1 Matt fell off his horse.
Book 1, like that, either the dagger changed him, but when I said that like Matt is soft rebooted in book 3, people gave me shit, and I think I'm right. Matt gets a soft reboot a little bit.
He does a little bit, for sure. Not for everything, of course, but like, yeah, there is a little bit of rejigging there because I don't know how you would write book 1 Matt from his perspective. Like, it's true. You know.
But we are never led to believe that Matt spent his entire childhood training to be one of the greatest fighters of all time with a quarterstaff. Yeah. And he is, right? Like, he is unbelievably good. If the Aiel are going, wow, you're unbelievably good, then...
Yeah, right? Like, and that's what's it, right, is the Aiel, who literally beat everyone. The Aiel are basically unstoppable. The Aiel are like, well, yeah, you actually dance, you pretty well. Like,
people keep saying flicker, flicker. We did not see flicker, flicker from Matt's perspective, so we don't know what he experienced in there. Like, you can say that, right? You can put that on his flicker experience, but, like, we did not see his flicker experience, so it's tough. Like, we can't put that on him. Also, he went through the flicker while he was holding the dagger, so he might not remember any of that.
Yeah, that's true, because he was so close to dying at that point.
He might have been unconscious for all that. We don't know.
Remember flicker, flicker at all.
Yeah. Anyway, so they basically just like praise Matt's fighting. They're like, wow, you're really good at this. We got our own stuff to do with, so like bye. And then the Aiel, hundreds of Aiel just suddenly disappear. And Matt's like, where did they go?
Yeah. Like, how do they have these like land camouflage cloaks? Like, god damn it.
Yeah. But Jewilin is still there, and Jewilin offers to Chewbacca Matt into the Stone of Tyr. What? He's like, I will pretend that I caught you, and I'll take you into the prison cells.
Yeah. No.
It's the Chewbacca maneuver.
Yeah. No, it's tried and true. It fails almost every time. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that that's not what happened. Matt's like, you know what? Nah.
I would have been fine with that. Like, it would totally have made sense.
No, I know.
It would have made more sense than what happens. Because let's get into what happens. So Matt is like, all right, before we do that, we're going to cause a distraction. So I'm going to throw some fireworks into the Stone of Tyr. And then those fireworks blow a hole in the wall, which to me is like, what? Either those fireworks were not fireworks, or the Stone of Tyr is very poorly constructed.
No, they are primitive fireworks. Like, we have, like, safe fireworks in modern days, right? And I say safe in quotations.
Okay, but fireworks shouldn't destroy a wall.
Are explosives. It's like putting a stick of dynamite in a wall.
It's no. A firework is not like a stick of dynamite.
When you bundle them all together like that, yes. Right? And that's the thing. There were like 20 fireworks? Like I can't remember the exact number, but that is a big bundle of explosives. Against
a stone wall?
Yeah. If you put it, here's the thing. You put it inside of a slot, right? If there is a weakness built into the wall and you put it inside, that blast energy has to go somewhere. What, you think is just going to not blow it up?
I think that it is convenient that he had enough fireworks in a bundle that he was carrying to blow a man-sized hole in a wall of stone, yes.
Well, there was already an arrow slit, which is like going to be like this big. So to expand that to about this is not that, like, I don't think that's weird at all.
I will hold that it is convenient that fireworks blew the Stone of Tyr, this impenetrable wall, a man-sized hole in an impenetrable wall. That is a lot of firepower.
So it's the same thing as like the Battle of Helm's Deep, right? The wall
bomb in the Battle of Helm's Deep is so large that it takes 4 Uruk-hai to carry it.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
One guy. Oh no, it
takes 4 Uruk-hai to carry a giant ball. No, it's huge. It's almost as tall as I am. The bomb in Helm's Deep is massive. It's a big thing. It's also a bomb. It's not a firework.
Okay, but I'm saying, so if a bomb that big blows the entire wall of Helm's Deep to smithereens,
because that was what it was built to do. It's also infused with Sauron's magic. You're comparing a magic bomb to fireworks.
To magic fireworks.
They're not magic, though. They're just regular fireworks.
I don't think it's completely unreasonable at all to go from, like, an arrow slit to, like, a hole that big with 20 fireworks. I think if you gave me a wall and you gave me some fireworks,
you would not be able to. You wouldn't. There is no way.
I think I could
There is no way that with fireworks, the amount of fireworks that you would need, Matt would have to be carrying, like, 50 pounds worth of fireworks.
No, he's got like 20 of them, and like a couple of them are like large. And she tells him, she's like, you do not want to be anywhere near these. They explode. They're danger.
Oh, they're danger to us because we're not made out of stone.
Yeah, but it didn't explode an entire wall. It made a hole.
It made a man-sized. No, it made a hole as large as Matt in the wall. Yeah, Matt is so like an adult man.
Yeah.
No,
you like wiggle your shoulders. Yeah, he doesn't walk through, does he?
Yeah. Oh. It's the size of him. It makes a hole that is conspicuously the size of him.
Oh, well, that's just Tavernus. But, like, I am 100% on the side that, like, yes, fireworks would definitely expand a hole that's already in a wall.
They would not.
Yeah, they 100%
would. The amount of firepower that you would need to destroy a stone wall is... You would have to have so much firework. Like, you would have to be carrying so much firework.
I mean, it was a big bundle.
Especially in a situation where the firework have holes for their force to concuss out into. Like, the idea that it would go, all of that force would not go into the stone. Like, Matt would have to have been carrying, like, the largest duffel bag of fireworks.
So, chat is saying that it's not a man-sized hole. It is just big enough to fit through. So, it goes from being an arrow slit to about this big.
I could have sworn the book said that it was, like, specifically...
It was just big enough to get through. For him to get through.
All right. It was a lot, and my
it was not a lot.
The reason
that makes 100%
the reason why sense. The reason why I thought it was weird was because immediately before this, Robert Jordan brought up a completely rational way for Matt to get into the prison cells, And then he was like, no, but we're going to have fireworks blow the wall up.
Yeah, but because it's Matt. He's dramatic as fuck. Like, he's like, nah, this is...
People are very upset with me in chat right now. Nathan Prime says, Clara's correct. Admit defeat.
I'm sorry, babe.
We let's test it. Let's get some fireworks. Let's get a stone wall, and we'll see how much damage we can do to it with fireworks.
Great. Let's go. We'll recreate the Illuminator fireworks exactly. We'll call Robert Jordan's estate and be like, hey, we need the recipe. Whatever he said for the fireworks, we need that recipe.
We'll call up what's that YouTube channel that blows stuff up?
Oh, I don't remember the name.
Well, we need professionals, obviously, because I'm not going to blow up a bunch of fireworks in a wall to try and do this. I don't have a death wish, but...
We need someone first to make us a wall made out of the same stone that they use in Tyr with an arrow-sized slit. So if you are that person and you can get us that, please...
Are there any, like... Oh, we could go... What's that castle in Toronto? We could ask if we could blow up one of their walls.
Casteloma?
Yeah, we'll go to Casteloma in Toronto.
Yeah?
And we'll see if we can blow up one of their walls with a firework.
In the middle of downtown? Yeah, I don't think my old boss would be very happy that I was trying to blow up his property.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Guys, if you see anything about Casteloma on the news, it's not us for legal reasons. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Anyways, moving on.
I love how mad chat is at me. People just love to shout at me. I think it's very funny.
Oh, God.
Next time on Nerdy Nightly, being arrested for vandalism. That's true.
No, for legal reasons, we have to say no. All right, moving on. They get into the castle, but they don't do the Chewbacca. They do the Illuminator. And Matt starts beating up all the guards. However...
Luckily, no. He runs into a fight. He's like, I can't win this on my own.
And then Sandor Clegane shows up.
Yeah.
And he's got his back, you know?
I really appreciate this because I liked the idea that King Julian from Madagascar shows up. Stigsme, thank you for that super chat. You'd probably have to pay an exorbitant amount for them to even consider allowing it.
No, there's no
amount of money.
Casteloma is a historic landmark.
Yeah.
You know, like we would go to like federal prison.
Yes. There's
absolutely no way.
Like it's Casteloma is literally like a historic landmark in Canada. We'd go to jail for a very long time.
Yeah.
That's like lock them up and throw away the key kind of territory.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So Julian has got Matt's back, and so they.
And he feels like he betrayed the girls, but he feels bad about it. Like he didn't want to. He
couldn't help himself, and that's why it's obviously some weird kind of like magical pull that like Leandrin has woven.
Shitzel, thank you for joining the Nargs.
Oh, thank you for becoming a Narg. It's one of those. It's one of those things where I really felt bad for him, and this guy's just trying to do the right thing and make it better any way he can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People are starting to bring up like legitimate arguments that I'm wrong, and so I'm wrong. If 200 grams of gunpowder can shatter a stone, then yeah, I'm wrong. Yeah. 200 grams is not very much.
No, it's not much at all. It's fine.
All right.
I'm the winner this week. You're welcome.
You're always the winner. When am I ever the winner? I'm just trying to keep the show interesting. One of the things about our show that I think is so funny is that we'll like have conversations about things, and people are like, why don't you just move back on? Why don't you move on to the next thing? And I'm like, what do you want this show to be?
You guys read the books. Like, if we just read you the book, the fun part is that we say stuff about the books.
Us talking, isn't that what this is? Like the people who want us to just like break down in order things that happen, I'm like, anyone can do that. Like us talking seems to be what the show should be.
Yeah. It is very interesting. So if you're here and you're just looking for breakdowns of the books, that's not it. We're here to give our opinions because we have them.
I just find the move on comments weird.
Yeah. When people are like, "Oh my God, move on already," and it's like, no, we're having fun talking about this. So get over it. I don't know what to tell you.
Orchid Eater is right. Why aren't we on book 14 already? You know what I mean? Like, oh God.
It's true.
Why are we going so slow?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Chat. I don't mean to call you out. Chat.
Thanks, guys.
Daishan says, okay, now move on. That's fair. That's fair.
Opinions, gross. We don't like those.
So the guards fight, and they lose because Matt and Julian are just gods of combat. Stigsme, thank you for that super chat.
He's got like a bamboo quarterstaff, basically. Steak, thank you.
As John Oliver said, isn't Canadian prison just being forced to move to Ottawa?
I've never been to Ottawa, so I cannot confirm that.
Oh, man. So we change perspectives here, and now we're with Egwene. She wakes up in her cell. She's like, "Whoa, I can't touch the magic.
I can't stop the feeling."
But she still has her rings.
Yeah, it seems really dumb to me that they were not searched, especially because Liandrin and the other 12 Aes Sedai literally saw Egwene dreamwalking. They
don't know that she has a Terangrial, though.
No, but you would think
they wouldn't know what it is.
Check.
But they wouldn't know what it is.
But they would be like, this ring is magical.
They wouldn't know. No, they wouldn't. Remember, because when they talk about it later, it's a Terangrial that doesn't require channeling, so it's just a ring.
Sure, but it's a freaking fancy ring. It just seems weird that it wasn't taken away. But
I feel like they went is there anything on them that resonates, and it doesn't, right? I think that it's because of this specific Terangrial.
But they do know that there are Terangrial that don't require channeling.
Why would they assume that these 3 accepted have one, though? You know what I mean?
Because they keep seeing Egwene in dreams.
No, Liandrin looked at her and smiled once. That could mean anything.
One time previous, earlier in the book, but
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the reason is because it happens to be this kind of non-channel based Terangrial.
I guess they're just cocky.
It's also just a ring. If you saw it, you'd be like, okay, it's a woman with rings. That's not.
I guess they wouldn't have taken away Nynaeve's water ring or ring.
Yeah, why would you take?
I don't know. It just seemed a bit weird to me, but I guess they have no reason to. I don't know.
The serpent rings that make them Aes Sedai don't mean anything. They're purely symbolic. They're not they're not devices of their magic.
Right.
So I don't think that. If you search them and they had rings on them, I don't think that would be weird.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But she immediately decides to go to sleep. And she's like, I'm going to go fight them in my dreams.
This is badass.
And so then we cut over to Rand. And Rand is just sneaking. And that's it. There's booms. He hears the fireworks explosion and he's just ignoring everything.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
Don't be suspicious.
And he's not even doing that. He's straight up just walking.
Yeah.
He's literally just I don't care about anything else. I just have to get to Kalandor. Back with Egwene. Egwene finds Joya Buyer in the Heart of Stone.
Yeah.
And she's like, I remember how I was shielded, which means that I know now how to shield people. And so she shields Joya and ties it off, which is, I think, what happens in the show. I think that's what they're insinuating Ishamael does to Moiraine in episode 8 of the show.
Interesting.
So I think that what happens to Moiraine at the end of season 1 is actually from the books, right? It's shield and tie.
And tying it off.
Yeah. I don't understand how the tying off works though, and here's where this gets a little bit confusing to me, is that they make it seem like the girl Amiko has to be outside of their cell to keep their shielding in place for the 3 girls in the cell. But Egwene is able to tie off a shield and not have to hold it in place. And so I don't understand why those 2 things are different.
Maybe Egwene is really good at it. I don't all
right.
Yeah, I don't know. Okie dokie. That's a read and find out. Yeah, that is.
It's weird to me that there's 2 kinds of shielding happening at the same time, and they function differently.
And one is in, the dream world.
Hey, what's up, Dusty Wheel?
Hi, Dusty Wheel.
Y'all, we're going to be on the Dusty Wheel this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're very excited.
Yeah.
I know we've said that multiple times, but,
go over to their channel and subscribe so you don't miss it.
Give them a subscription.
Fun.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm less sick by then.
No, we'll be
fine. We'll be fine. Tied off shields are easier to break out of than an active shield. Oh, it's weird because it doesn't seem like it's just interesting that there's two shieldings happening at the same time, but they function differently.
Yeah, I think this is like our introduction to it, right? Because we haven't really had characters experience shielding
until this moment. That's
until
true.
this moment.
Yeah.
And so I think this is like our introduction for it.
Yeah.
Because they're different. You're right. And I didn't really like catch on to that. I was just like, oh, it's Dream World. So everything works like a little bit differently, but maybe the dream world doesn't work that much differently, and it's okay. We're probably gonna get more on that later. But yeah, Egwene just figures out how to do it.
Yeah, and then she kind of beats up Joy a little bit. She smacks around a little bit, but lightly smacks around.
Fair enough.
Threatens to leave her there forever. It's dark. Joy's like, please God. And then Egwene feels shame that she's kind of having fun beating up Joya when she should be saving Nynaeve and Elaine.
Yeah.
Which I understood.
I get that.
She's like, Nynaeve and Elaine are waiting. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Joya, you're not worth my time.
That was like a very like real human moment.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel you, Egwene. I got you.
So then we cut over to Perrin for a scene that will not be in the television show. Perrin walks in on Fael naked and chained. Nope, that's cut. There's no way she will be naked for this. The show is not going to have this woman naked and chained to a table. You know what I mean? Like that's just that is a visual that the show will not do.
Yeah, but they gave the Sanshin ball gags, so.
Yeah, and honestly, I guess there has been some nudity in the show, but.
Yeah, I don't know. You seem very adamant they're not going to do it, and I'm like, I could see it happening.
Thank you for the super chat. I said I have that. Oh.
Didn't get far enough into that. All right.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. If the mods say it's a spoiler, it's a spoiler.
I didn't get far. I literally read the first three words.
Yeah, that was it.
Our mods are on it because there's a delay too, so our mods crushed that.
We appreciate you guys.
I don't know. I feel like her being naked and chained to a table. I feel like if this hedgehog moment happens, I think they will handle it differently.
Maybe.
Because there's just not a reason for her to be naked here. It stood out to me when I was reading it. I was like, why is she nude? No one else has entered the dream world naked at any point in these books. True. And we've had multiple characters enter the dream world. This is the only time anyone has ever been just nude and chained to a table. And I was like, it's very odd that the Terangrial would do this.
Well, yeah, even in the accepted trial, they had to enter it nude, but they weren't nude in the trials.
Oh, yeah, but it's not like someone is controlling the hedgehog. Why does the hedgehog take her clothes away? And if the hedgehog took her clothes away, the reason that Perrin dives in is because he enters the hedgehog's space, but he's not nude. Unless he's also nude and it's just not described.
I mean, he does become a wolf for a bit of it, but then he's a man again.
And look, I don't have a problem with it in the book. It's 100% fine in the book. I'm just saying the show won't do it this way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, the show's not the show. If there's nudity in the show, it'll always be in ways where the women feel empowered. It'll never be because the women is like naked and helpless.
Yeah, well, and it does just kind of come out of nowhere. Like, I know she is trapped.
Yeah, and he hits the thing and she disappears. So like, yeah, for the show to do it, it would be such unnecessary nudity because it doesn't like it's so random.
I wonder if it's because like Perrin is being baited.
Why would he be baited more by her boobs?
Not. No, I just mean
he already wants to save her. Like her being naked doesn't make him more inclined to save her life. No, he's not like, I was gonna leave you here to rot, but now that I've seen them titties,
you know what? Fair.
I'm gonna bring you back to the real world because I want to see this in real life. Like I just,
you know what? Fair.
Her being naked in this scene contributes nothing to the plot of it.
It is, yeah, just kind of super random. So,
and I'm fine with it in the book. I'm just saying it's not going to be in the show. This specific moment will, if this specific moment is in the show, she will be clothed. Because there is no value to her being naked on the show for this, because it'll be cause too much of a stir. There'll be too many arguments either way. Like, the show would be better off avoiding it to not have to deal with the think pieces.
Yeah, no, they'll play it safe. Yeah. They'll play it safe because there's no,
If we see Zareen naked on the show, it'll be when her and Perrin hook up.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. And also that the nudity was surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
And so he breaks the chain and she disappears. And Hopper's like, we're going to have to do this multiple times. And I was like, oh, Perrin's in a video game. The dream world is video game world.
It's Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You must find the 3 naked women. Suddenly we're back to Matt. Matt Cawthorn, who's like, I'm not a hero, is just beating the crap out of everyone.
I'm not a hero, Cawthorn. Like...
Until he runs into a High Lord. And apparently the High Lords are the best fighters. Which I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Hey, when you're rich, you got a lot of time to, like, do stuff that you want to do. And so, yeah, he's like, I'm good with a sword. Yeah, no,
it makes some sense. I just think of, like, High Lords as being, like, rich, fat cats. You know what I mean? They're, like, yeah, they got people to do stuff for them.
Probably some of them, yeah.
Jonathan O'Neill says, your princess is in another dream. That is so funny. Perrin is fully in Mario.
Yeah. On to the next.
He just keeps finding naked women and it's a Toad. God damn it, Toad. I need Peach.
Oh my god.
But the High Lords are the best fighters, which I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Usually it's like you're the like captain of the guard. But in Tyr, no. In Tyr, if you're going to be a High Lord, you also have to be a very proficient swordsman.
Yeah.
Until you run into a dude with a quarterstaff who just wrecks your life.
Ruins you, yeah.
Matt kills a lot of people in this book.
Yeah.
And doesn't seem very affected by it.
Yeah. I don't know. He was a war general, so he's like, yeah, it's like a Tuesday.
It's just interesting because on the flip side, killing has had such an effect on Perrin.
Yeah.
Like, Perrin is so hyper aware of every single life that he's taken, whereas Matt seems to move on from that very easily. And I like that this... Here's the thing. I sometimes get bored with modern writing because, you know, the Batman doesn't kill rule has kind of infected a lot of writing where we don't want our heroes to kill. And when our heroes do kill, they always have to have this, like, outsized reaction, even if it was totally justified self-defense.
Yeah.
I like that in the Wheel of Time, there are different characters who have different moral reactions to killing, to necessary killing.
Yeah.
It would be different if Matt was like straight up murdering people and like moving on from it. But like he is a totally rational, he is having a totally rational relationship to the kinds of death around him because it is necessary.
Well, and he doesn't like fight purposefully to kill. He fights in defense. And like, I'm sure not every person that he fights dies, but his goal is to down them, right? And
yeah, but specifically he killed Komar died.
Komar died.
And he just moved on from it, and he kills this High Lord.
Yeah. And like, you know, he talks about his dad teaching him like what's like a killing blow and like where your like solar plexus and that kind of thing. And it is interesting that like there's probably a lot of deaths, but that just like, I don't know, you're fighting, like stuff happens.
I just chalk this up to I chalk this up to another one of things that is Robert Jordan being a veteran, because I'm assuming that Robert Jordan knows a lot of people who killed people in the wars that he was in, right? And I'm assuming that the variety of reaction to killing in combat comes from Robert Jordan knowing people who have had a variety of reactions to killing in combat, right?
Yeah.
And I think that there is a reality to the way Robert Jordan writes that I think that writers who have never been in combat but are writing in combat would not have. He has a perspective, and he brings his perspective to writing these scenes in a way that someone who has never been in a war just wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the aftermath of combat in Wheel of Time feels so specific and feels so well written to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, that it is a perspective that a lot, like, not everyone is going to have, and and he does it well, because I'm sure Robert Jordan has known so many people who like have all dealt with those kind of experiences in very different ways. And I think we see a lot of that through this book, everyone feels like a person, you know, not like they all do the same thing and feel the same things. They feel individual.
Yeah. And I think that Robert Jordan brought something to this that is like really next level. And like the way that characters respond to the emotional toil of violence, the emotional toll of violence is something that is more realistic in this series than in most other fantasy series I've read.
Yeah.
No. So Matt sees Rand at the end of the hallway, but is like, Rand wouldn't be here, even though every character who is important to these books has made it here.
Yup.
Except Tom. Tom is with Alhuin.
He's nearby, at least.
I just love the idea that, like, all of this combat is going down, and Tom is just, like, on a bed with Alhuin, just, like, gently massaging, like, vapor rub into his chest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. See, that's the scene that we need in the show.
Oh, yeah. I want them to have a whole episode that's just Tom and Alhuin just hanging out. And everyone's like, why is this here? Like, it'll be like the Stepin episode like, where people are like, why did they cut away for an episode for this?
Yeah. We'll just be so excited.
So chapter 55. We're into Bilal pushes him to take Kalandor.
Yes.
Bilal is like, come on, dude. Come on, you gotta take it. And Rand is like, it's really
suspicious.
Yeah. This is sus, dude.
Yeah, he's like, why are you being sus? And so he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own sword, my own fire sword instead. And
so we have our lightsaber battle.
Yeah.
But Rand is getting his butt kicked. Bilal is kind of pushing him around. Bilal's got that like experience.
Yeah, and Rand knows it, right? Like, and we talked about this at the end of last book. I was like, how the heck did Rand defeat another like Blade Master? And then this guy's even more of a Blade Master. He's like even better, and he's like, oh shit, yeah, I don't know if I can do this. And it just seems like very like, and they even mention it, the throwback. But it was on my mind. I was like, again, there's just the next better person. I mean, I guess he's Forsaken, so it makes sense.
Well, but this is I was excited because like Rand is getting his butt kicked in this sword fight, and I was like, oh, like Rand is gonna like get Kalandor and like run away. My thought was that this was gonna be the Empire Strikes Back moment, where Rand was going to like lose this fight and have to come back and win another day, and that Bilal was gonna be like his like big sword opponent, that he was gonna have to like train with Lan and become a really good swordsman to beat Bilal. But that does not happen because Moiraine comes in and kills Bilal in one shot with balefire.
Immediately. Like, I loved... Okay, first of all, this moment was so convenient, but I loved it so much anyways. Because Moiraine comes in and Bilal is like, the hell are you gonna do? And she's like... And annihilates him. She doesn't mess around. And I one thing I hate in... literature or like media is when you have your like trump card, you have the big thing that you know is gonna win you whatever is coming up right now, but you don't do it right away because drama, right? And Moiraine is like, no, we're not screwing around here, and straight up one shot KOs him, and it was fantastic.
As G wrote, Moiraine just Indiana Jones'd his ass. Yes, she does. Yeah, she caught him monologuing. But also, she, like, Bilal doesn't think that balefire isn't something that people are using in this time, right? I think that balefire probably hasn't been around for a few thousand years, because it seems like ancient knowledge that she unearthed in the library.
Well, and she says she would be stilled for even knowing.
Yeah.
So, like, it is definitely, like, a big no-no. So he has no reason to suspect that she would know something like that. But, oh my god, yeah, it was so satisfying. Him just be like, hey, oh crap, like
satisfying for more. Yeah, it was a little bit of both for me.
Okay.
I liked it in the terms of I like that we now have this thing that kills Forsaken, and that this trump card won't work again because the other Forsaken will hear about this, right? And they'll be ready for it next time.
Yes.
But also I'm nervous about, or not nervous. What am I trying to say? I wanted Rand to overcome Bilal because I really liked the relationship between Bilal and Lews Therin that they set up as him being like this person who's jealous of Lews Therin who had this sword ability that Rand doesn't have. Yeah. I thought that he was going to be an interesting antagonist for Rand. And him being taken out so easily is a little bit disappointing to me because of that relationship.
That's fair.
I thought there was more to do with this character, and now he's just kind of gone.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll get some more interesting relationships with the other Forsaken.
Yeah.
Because there's still, like, 8 of them?
What they set up with Bilal was actually, like, really cool. This character he's essentially, like, he represents jealousy. Like, if you're having, like, the 7 deadly sins, if you were to have, like, one of the Forsaken be, like, the jealous one, and that's what informs all of his decisions, I was really into the idea of that, and so the fact that he's just kind of gone, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think...
That's fine.
I think that's totally valid. The other thing as well is we've only ever met, other than Lanfear, all the other Forsaken we've met have been men, and I'm really excited to meet the other, like,
I think that
5,
Lanfear will be the only woman.
No, there was a dream sequence where there were, like, 5 or 6 women, and then, like, oh crap, where was it? No, I'm pretty sure that there's several other women Forsaken, because someone was watching a dream. Maybe it was a Perrin dream where he saw, like, a group of people, like, of the Force of... He saw, like, the Forsaken, and there was other people with them. And they didn't seem like they were, like, dark friends, but maybe they were.
See,
I for some reason thought there were, like, 5 female Forsaken.
I thought that it was a biblical reference. Because Jesus had his 12 disciples and Mary Magdalene.
Oh.
Right?
Well, I hope it's not that.
Although, there's an argument that actually Mary was one of the 12 disciples and that we've just been not misreading the text, but, like, actively misinterpreting them. But...
Oh, no, it was an Egwene dream. Yeah. So I think there's, like, 5 female Forsaken.
Okay. I'm down for that.
I for some reason, I'm like... I wish I knew what chapter it was so I could, like, pull it up, and I should have taken a picture.
I want them to have a scene where we get all of their names. I need a scene in the books where they're like, this is the names of the 13 Forsaken. I would like that in the next book.
That would be nice, if we knew who...
Because there's Agintor, Bartholomew, but the 2 who died in the first one.
Yeah, there's 2 dead.
Then Bilal. So 3 are definitely dead.
Yes.
And then...
Well, and do you think Balsamon is dead at the end of this?
I have no idea.
I don't know either, right?
All right, let's keep going. Let's get through what happens with Balsamon, and then we'll talk about it. Because Balsamon shows up
talk about it.
and hits Moiraine with some necrotic damage, with, like, black lightning, which is like, oh, I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
She seems fine.
We're not going to read chat for a minute, because I think people are, like, saying Forsaken names, and I don't
Don't say Forsaken names in there. We want them in the... Yeah.
Yeah, if we haven't met anyone yet, don't tell us.
And so Balsamon shows up and, like, just... takes out Moiraine. I thought that... So here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought that when I read that moment, I was like, oh, this is what happens to Moiraine at the end of the show. It doesn't. Moiraine is fine.
Yeah, Moiraine is fine. Yeah,
Moiraine is absolutely fine. I was reading too much into it.
Yeah.
But Rand is like, oh, crap. Like, well, now that Balsamon's here, I think it's time for me to...
Sorry, I don't think there's an Agitor Forsaken, because the Dusty Wheel says that that's now their favorite.
Agitor? Isn't his name, like...
I know it starts with an A, but from book 1, there is a Forsaken.
Okay, I'm going to read Tithanisk's quote, because this is valid. Aginor, Belthamel, Bilal, Samael, and Lanfear, and Ishamael. Yes. So we've met 6? Wow. And 3 of them, at least 3 of them are dead.
Yeah.
Aginor.
No, it's alligator from now on.
Alligator. But then everyone could be like, "See you later, alligator," and he'd be like, "It's not funny."
Your brain is beautiful.
I would just love that. If everyone's just like, "See you later, alligator," he's like, "It's Aginor."
God damn it. Stop it.
None of the Forsaken respect Aginor.
Nah, they're like, yeah, we make fun of that guy. He's not really one of us.
Oh my god, I would love it if there was one Forsaken who was just bullied by the other Forsaken.
I love that.
And so Rand is like, oh, this is really bad. But Balsamon is like shooting him with like his like black lightning stuff. And so Rand grabs Kalendor, and he now has an even better lightsaber.
Yeah, he upgraded his lightsaber.
And so Baal is like, nuh-uh, nope, no, not today, Satan.
He runs. He
bends space and time and disappears from the room.
Which was so cool, like reading it being like described and how Rand was putting things back to where they should be in reality.
Well, and
that
Rand
was so cool.
Rand goes, "I am the hunter now."
I was like, "Oh my god, my boy!"
But before we get to that hunting, we actually cut away.
Yeah.
Egwene. We're back with Egwene. She's in Dreamland.
To be fair, there are also a bunch of Aiel just fighting for Rand around him, and he does not notice.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of Aiel. I don't know how they got into the stone.
Acrobat. Like, they're acrobatics.
They went through Matt's hole.
They
There were just a bunch of Aiel going in and out of Matt's hole.
God damn it. Okay. Thank you for that one. Oh, man.
So Egwene makes it down to the prison cells, and Amiko's sitting there. And I liked the idea that, like, she can't really see her. Like, she's, like, fading in and out.
Yeah.
Because, like, of how close she is to the dream world. Mm-hmm. And she just immediately shields her as well. It's a little bit harder because Amiko is actively channeling.
Yeah.
But she's still able to do it.
Yeah, Egwene leveling up as well. Everyone took a level up at the end of this book.
And then, in the dream world, she opens the door. And so she wakes up, and the door's closed. Because the only things in the real world that are affected by the dream world are living things. Why? Don't know. But that she just figures that out.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh god, okay, I'm gonna have to go back to sleep to figure this out. Because they're still shielded. Interestingly.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that Amiko is also currently shielded.
Yeah, because it was like already active. I wonder if she can. It doesn't like sever. Like I don't know. I was trying to figure out exactly what was going on, and I don't think they really knew, so we didn't really get to find out.
Yeah,
but yeah, she was able to hold the shield while she was being shielded. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so Nynaeve sings her back to sleep like she did when she was a baby. It's so cute.
It's very cute. Now, the one thing I have to say is, I know the girls got captured again, but at least they're like doing useful stuff this time. Like that is interesting and. And it forces Egwene to, like, the one thing I will say about Egwene being captured is every time she is kidnapped, she learns new skills. Yeah. And it's not just like, woe is me, right? There's actual things going on. And
2 or 3 kidnap scenes from now, Egwene's going to be the Amerlin seat.
She
just needs to pick up a couple more skills.
Couple more kidnappings, and she'll be like top dog for sure.
Yeah. God damn. So then Matt, you know what? Nathaniel's right. Y'all, there's over 600 people here and only 224 likes.
Smash that like button.
I want you to smash it so hard you break your monitor.
Don't do that.
No, I'm kidding. Just like the video.
Yeah. We don't have the money to replace all your monitors. So don't.
If you break your own monitor, I'm not. Yeah, that's not our fault. Yeah, Hulk, smash that like button.
Yeah.
So Matt enters the cells, and Julian sees Amiko and freaks out because he's like, that's an Aes Sedai.
Wait, Egwene even gets captured again when she is the Amerlin seat in her dream.
Even as the Amerlin seat, she
still gets.
She learns a new ability then too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She levels up every time. That is the strategy. That is the game breaking strategy. All right, I get it now. I see what you did.
How many experience points does Egwene get every time she's kidnapped?
Spacesuit, thank you for the super chat.
Spacesuit. Okay, so it's Agenor, Baalzamon, Lanfear, Sleepy, Sneezy, Dopey, Abella Danger.
I don't know who that is.
That's a porn star. Snuffleupagus, Luke, John, Ahsoka, Cardi B, Cardio B. Cardio B is actually my favorite Peloton trainer.
John Cena.
And Eric Trump. Eric Trump being one of the Forsaken does not surprise me.
I'm zero surprised. Bit surprised at Cardi B, but I'll take it.
No, it's Cardio B.
Sorry, you're right. Okay.
Peloton is actually the devil's work. Dusty wants to chat metaphysics when we get to the end.
Oh God.
Let's talk metaphysics. Let's get into it.
Do science and math, but sure.
Eric Trump is the one they all make fun of.
He's alligator.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Oh my God.
No, Jeff Bezos is the dark one, like Blended Fool.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos is the dark one.
What's funny is we make so much of our money on Amazon, which like feels bad because we stream on Twitch, but whatever, it does not matter. Let's get it in. We're so close to the end of this book. Matt gets to the cells, and so Amiko is sitting there, but she's like a scarecrow. She can't move.
Yeah.
She's described as being a scarecrow, which I thought was weird because I don't think of scarecrows as being like
rigid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very.
And she's literally like, she can move her head and she's begging them. She's begging them for help because like
it was horrific.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
And then Matt opens the cells, and I just hate the girls in this scene so much.
I know. And I kind of hate them for the rest of the book, if I'm being honest. They are assholes. Matt
and they don't help. They're not doing, and they're not benefiting the situation at all. And they're just behaving. They're so rude.
They're so rude to Matt. And Matt deserves those kisses. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, you don't no, okay. I want to be very clear. No man deserves a kiss from a woman who does not want to give him a kiss.
Fine, but
this is a consent-driven household.
He deserves some gratitude at least. And
he deserves a thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, thanks for opening up the cell. Like, oh my god.
Thanks for traveling all the way here purely to save us.
Yeah. Literally, like, he could have stayed in Camelin, been chill, and, like, they never talk about, like, the letter or Camelin or, like, any of that at all in this book. Hopefully we'll find out in that next book, so. But, yeah, they're the worst to him, and, like, yeah, Matt was a dick when he was influenced by the dagger and stuff, but, like, they're just kind of the worst to him for no reason.
And then they literally, like, they like lift him off the ground with the one power.
Yeah.
To like shut him up.
Attack him? I was like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, it's Matt. It's not like some random person opened the thing and like you're like, I don't know who this is, and so I'm a little suspicious of you. It's Matt.
Yeah, like and it's like Egwene's childhood friend. You know what I mean? Like it's so their response to him opening the cell is so outsized in such a negative way that I didn't understand it at all. And I understand that like Nynaeve and Egwene have problems with each other right now, but like, yeah, I don't know. I was disappointed by them in this moment.
Me too. I have been waiting for 3 books for the like reunion, like of the Emmonsfielders, and where it's nice and they can commiserate a little bit, and I don't know. Everyone just got a stick up their ass.
Yeah. So Nynaeve punches Amiko out, knocks her unconscious, and then the shielding stops. No. It's weird that her being shielded doesn't stop the shielding, but her being unconscious does.
Yeah.
Don't understand that, but I'm sure we'll read and find out. So Nynaeve heals the girls finally because she has magic back, and Matt points out, he's like, "We got to get you out of here," and the girls are like, "No, we have to go stop Leandrin." And Matt is like, all right, well, I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to leave. And so he turns to leave, and then the girls head in, and he's like, God, I can't. I came all the way to save them. I'm not going to let them die now. And he's like, fine, I'm staying. And I was like, Matt, these girls don't deserve you. They treated you so rude, and you're like, fine, I will.
He's sticking around. Yeah. I gotta, like, I don't know. If I was Matt, I would have left. I would have been like, wow, rude. Okay, bye. Have fun. Like.
Yeah. And so then we cut to, we're back with Rand.
Yeah, Rand is just casually bending space and time back to where it's supposed to be while Balsamon flees like a little bitch. Balsamon, I'm calling you out on your bullshit. Yeah, he's like, not today. And he runs. He gets the hell out of there. And Rand is like, and yeah, we're done.
The imagery is just so cool, right? Like he's like, and then the air around Rand turns to stone, and so Rand had to fix that. And then the air around Rand disappeared, and he's like in space, and he had to like fill it with oxygen again with the power. And Balsamon is throwing everything he can at him, Trollocs and waves and lava, and Rand is just brushing it aside. And because he has this Sangreal now, he's got Kalandor in his hands. Yeah, he just has the power to just kind of brush all of this nonsense away.
He's leveling up as we speak. Balsamon throws a thing at him and he just figures out how to deal with it, and he has now learned like new skills. Like he is just perking his skill tree so fast. And
so we cut back to Perrin, and Perrin is in the dream world kind of doing the same thing. He's like rushing from falcon to falcon, and he finally gets into this room where there's just hundreds and hundreds of falcons, and they all dive at him, and they're attacking him, scratching him, and he's, swatting them away. He's getting to the middle of the room.
Every time Faila has called him blacksmith, is one falcon.
And so he gets to the middle of this room, and there's one falcon. It's got this hedgehog, anklet on. And so he's taking all this damage, but he snaps that anklet, and then they're together. And he's like, my falcon. And she's like, ooh, my blacksmith. And then... and
it's hot.
I'm assuming they just immediately get down to business.
I think Loyal is right there.
He can watch.
I don't know. First time... that
He needs to take notes so he can add it into the story later.
No. You're right. You're 100% right. That's fair.
LJ 101 Deal says J.K. Rowling stole this scene.
Oh, for the keys? Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure J.K. Rowling can read, but...
Here's the problem, though. In the book, Jesus Christ. In the book, it happens differently than in the movies, right? The things don't attack in the book. So she didn't actually write that. The moviegoers stole this. The movie writers stole this.
I forgot that. I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that very specifically, and it's been a while since I read the first book, but the keys do not attack.
Although the visual of the keys, honestly, in the Harry Potter movies, the visual of the keys sticking into the door is very cool.
Very good, yes.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So then we cut back to Rand, and Rand has his, final interaction with Balsamon. And he takes Kalandor, and he, burns him with a beam of light, much like he did with Belthamel at the end of the first book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
Yeah, and then Baalzamon's body drops to the ground, and this is where we get into something where reading this books with a live chat and with YouTube comments gets a little bit complicated, because I have been saying that Baalzamon and Ishamael are different characters for books, and I've been getting so much crap, okay? And I understand why I thought that. Baalzamon and Ishamael have been different characters to our characters up until now. It is only in this scene where the characters that we're following distinguish that they are the same person.
I thought they were the same person.
Right. But I'm saying to the characters, Ishamael was a Forsaken, and Baalzamon was the Dark One.
Yeah.
That is how our characters interacted with the concept.
Yeah, and Rand is still convinced he has killed the Dark One.
Right, but he hasn't. But Ishamael has been using the name of Baalzamon to strike more fear because people are more scared of the Dark One than they are of Ishamael.
Yeah, probably.
And so I think that because of... You have been correct. You're right. But also, you're not correct. You're both.
Yeah, I mean, I inferred it from a passage that I read.
Baalzamon is the name of the Dark One, though. So Ishamael and Baalzamon are still not the same person.
No, Baalzamon is not.
But the Baalzamon that we've been seeing has been Ishamael.
Why do you think Baalzamon is a name for the Dark One?
Baalzamon is just a name for the Dark One.
No.
That Ishamael has been using. Right?
I don't know if we know... I don't think Baalzamon is a name for the Dark One.
I thought Baalzamon was a name for the Dark One.
I know that, he has said... Okay.
And that Dark Friend says Ishamael was cosplaying as the Dark One. Yeah,
Oh, it's the Trolloc name for the Dark One. Okay.
We have both been correct. I was just wrong in that I thought that Rand was actually interacting with the Dark One, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Rand was interacting with Ishamael pretending to be the Dark One.
Right.
And so our characters have inferred them to be different people, but they have been the same person this whole time because it's been Ishamael pretending to be the Dark One.
Right.
Is Ishamael dead, though?
Yeah, I mean, his corpse is laying there. I think he's dead. You can't keep killing these guys and then them not dying. You know what I mean?
So do you think there's 10 Forsaken left or 9? Because if he's dead, there's 9 left. We've killed...
The 2 at the beginning.
Agenor and Belthamel are definitely dead, right?
Alligator, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think that Belal is dead.
Yeah.
Because if Balefire doesn't kill Forsaken,
then
what
that's
is the point?
Weird.
So then, are there 9 left? And there's 11 books?
Yeah.
So then, do we get 1 Forsaken per book, a book to kill the Sanshin, a book to kill the Black Aja, and then the Dark One?
No,
that's too many.
No.
9.
No, it's not going to be that structured. But yeah, I think that there's 9 left.
Okay.
Because there's no way that Ishamael's body is there, but he isn't.
Do they kill off all the male Forsaken before they kill off one female Forsaken?
Yes. I'm into it.
male Forsaken.
They're not the smartest.
They're dropping like flies.
Yeah, these ladies are like, they got one up on them.
Randall Moore, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super
Rishi
chat.
believes he's the actual Dark One. Interesting.
Silly man.
I feel like Ishamael has to be dead, right? I feel like Ishamael has to be dead.
His corpse is there, and Moraine is like this. It would be weird. I would honestly really kind of hate it if he wasn't, because that would be like another fake out.
He survived the last two kind of times we thought he died, right?
Yes, but he didn't have like a body then, like an actual thing that died.
That's fair. Yeah.
And like he died, like I think he's dead, and I hope he's dead, because if they fake it out again, I'm like, you know.
Light Blighted Fool says 4 down 9 to go at this rate. There will only be about 7 books. Yeah, I think there's 7 books in this franchise.
7?
Yeah, that sounds right. Mm-hmm. Guy, can I be honest, y'all? The fact that there's 11 more books, I have no idea what could possibly happen in those books.
I know.
I feel like if I was writing this, I could finish this in 2 books from here. One to deal with the Sanchin and the Dark Aja, and then one for the final fight.
It would be interesting, like I wonder if the Forsaken, some of them do start working together because they realize how big of a threat they're against. Yeah. But I don't know. Then they would have to be smart, and they're not always. So.
Yeah. So a couple days later, they're all chilling here, and here's the girls don't really do anything at this point.
No.
Which I thought was weird. Like they break out the cells, like we're gonna go join the fight, and then we never actually, unless I missed something in like the haze of being sick, they don't have any like significant part in the fight after that point.
No.
And so we catch up with the Stone of Tyr. The dragon banner is hanging over the Stone of Tyr. So, like, things are about to go down because everyone's about to go to war with Tyr, right? If the dragon banner is there.
I mean, I don't know. That is, like, such an essential part of the prophecy. I'm pretty sure that people are going to be like, oh, yeah, that's the real dragon.
Yeah, but a lot of people think the dragon is there to break the world, so they're going to want to go kill him. Like, I think Rand is in more danger than ever before now.
But everyone in Tyr is like, the dragon reborn. So,
well, yeah, because things have been bad for them lately. Like, they needed a change.
Things are bad in Camelin, too, though. Like, they're in...
They also need a change.
Yeah. Sam, thank you so much for that.
Sam, thank you for that super chat. End of book, when they explain to Matt what's going on, Moraine says there's still 9 Forsaken. Moraine says that, but just because Moraine says it doesn't mean that it's true.
Yes.
Right?
But I do think that there are 9.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I'm saying, like,
if we've learned anything,
is not omnipotent, right?
Yeah, if we've learned anything from this book is that you can't trust everything.
And who knows? One of the other Forsaken might have died like 1,000 years ago, and no one knows. I don't think that that's what happened, but like Moraine doesn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the Forsaken like ate one of each other while they were in prison.
Moraine's exact words. There's
that's
still
what happened
11
to Eric
more
Trump.
books. Jesus Christ.
Moraine's exact words. That's funny. So then they're sitting around a table and they're like having like their like debrief. They're chatting, and the Aiel, apparently leaders of the Aiel all have dragon tattoos.
Yeah.
So this book literally became the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yes, we find out that the Aiel are the people of the dragon. Oh my god.
I wanted to make a go with the dragon tattoo so bad.
I know you did, and I'm proud of you.
And so they're all just kind of like, they're like, oh, the people of the dragon are here. Prophecies happened.
Prophecy, cool. Check.
The people of the dragon. Rand, Al, Thor. And that's the end of the book.
Yeah,
that's kind of it.
Well, there's like that one like noble lady with the hawk.
Oh yeah, she's like...
We found the hawk.
We found the hawk. That's true. I almost forgot about that.
She's like, the dragon reborn is here. Tell him I will have dinner with him. Like, I was like...
Her like assistant is like, they're having dinner tonight. Will you please inform him?
Yeah, I was like, alrighty, okay, I see how this is.
And then, but in that invitation is also a letter, a very important letter, because it wouldn't be the end of a Wheel of Time book if Lanfear didn't tell someone, Luce Theron is mine, or was mine, he is mine, and he will be mine forever. I give him into your charge to keep for me until I come. It is signed Lanfear. She said that to Min. She said that to Moraine.
Yep.
Like,
he's mine.
What is with Lanfear? Does Lanfear...
Lanfear is Anakin.
Look, I'm just saying...
That possessiveness, it's gonna burn you.
No, but she likes sharing him with other women.
I guess. She's like, you can hold on to him. I'll be back. She's like dropping Rand off at daycare. She's like, I'll be back for you later, sweetie.
I said I daycare. Oh my god.
Oh man. Yup. Yeah. Yeah, Lanfear. I wonder if Lanfear is gonna be like the final boss.
I don't know. I feel like they're gonna have to. Lanfear is too close to them. They're gonna have to deal with her sooner than later, unless she disappears for a while. But
yeah.
First of Mayene. I don't know what Mayene is.
No, we haven't been told
I'm excited to learn more about her.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I think the beginning of the next book, we're going to find out a lot about the people of Tyr and the nobles.
Yeah, there's a lot coming up.
Their stuff. I think we're going to find out more about the Aiel, which I just want to point out. Chat.
Check
I just
the
would
map.
like to let you know that Robert Jordan, again, references that that the Aiel sleep with men with their first sisters, because Matt can't talk to one of the two of them without the other showing up. And I just wanna say I stand by our original inferences that
Oh, Mayene's over here.
oh nice. Yeah. That the first sisters, they bone down together.
Yeah, they do.
They bone down together.
Yeah.
That is final answer. Lock it in. Clarence makes chat math.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah.
The Aiel are into threesomes.
Yeah, unless Robert Jordan completely retcons and is like, just kidding. That is exactly what's happening here. Matt's trying to flirt, and the other lady just keeps showing up, and he's like, I don't get it, and the Aiel are laughing at him, and he's so confused. It's very funny.
C. Roderick
Very well
says,
done.
sorry, I might have missed this. Did they get the sword and the stone reference? No, we missed it.
The sword, the stone of Tyr?
Totally missed
God
it.
damn it.
Wait, and there's only one person who can pull it out? Can't imagine what that means.
Giggity.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of Arthur Pendragon
Subpage Goon says
references.
first sisters are blood sisters. I don't think they are.
You can become first sisters, yes.
Yeah, they're not blood sisters.
You can say words to your wise woman, or not wise woman. Yeah,
Yeah,
to
you
the
go
wise
you
woman
go before the wise ones to become first sisters.
Yeah, first sisters are also blood sisters, I believe. That's and second sisters are your oh my god, family trees are your cousins, right?
First sisters can be sisters, sure, and I'm assuming
Yes.
that those ones do not have threesomes. But first sisters are not inherently blood sisters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is basically, yeah, that is how that works. You can become. Why don't you guys become first sisters?
Well, we've been talking a little bit in this episode about the meta of this podcast. And another thing I want to point out is that I love when people in chat get upset that we don't know things that haven't been revealed in the books yet, as we actively try not to be spoiled.
Yeah.
They're like, well, if you had read the next book, you would know that you're wrong. And I'm like, yeah, the whole point of this is that we haven't read that book yet.
Yes, you hit the nail right on the head. Well done.
Yeah. So let's do high-low.
Oh man.
Sorry about that.
And we're back.
High-low. For those of you who don't know, the way we do high-low on the show is that my family used to do high-low at the kitchen dinner table every night so that we could celebrate each other's highs and commiserate over each other's lows. And so the way that we do this is Clark's going to do her high first, I'll do my low, she'll do her low, and then I do my high last as a compliment sandwich. But I always let her go first. So what's your high, babe?
See it. My high. There's so much that happens in this.
Yeah, this was huge.
My high.
We probably missed stuff. We'll have to talk about it next week.
My high is Balsamon fleeing. The fucking beta
just being
that he
nah.
is. Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here. I don't know why, but I found that so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he's dead. But that was my high. Is Rand being like, not today, and becoming the hunter. I thought it was great. That's my high.
My low is very easy. It's how the girls react to seeing Matt open that cell door.
That's my low as well.
That scene honestly took me out of the book.
Well, and then again,
I was so in.
And then again at the end, they're rude to him again, and he's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm totally gonna be here, but I'm actually gonna dip the hell out because you guys are the worst.
Yeah, I don't get it. I get that he was a troublemaker when they were kids, but like I don't understand the way they treat him.
You're
it's
not
weird.
kids anymore, yeah.
Yeah, and he traveled across 3 countries because someone said that you were in danger to save you. Like when someone goes so far out of the way to save your life, I just don't. It really is very odd to me, and I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
It feels so out of place with everything else going on.
Yeah,
so
my
I don't know.
for sure. Yeah,
same one.
Basically, yeah. And there's nothing else in this that's a low for me except that. So
this section was there's so many highs. There's so many highs to me in the section. Honestly, like, and this isn't my real high, but like one of them is what we talked about earlier about how Robert Jordan gets everyone to the wise woman's house in such a logical way. It's such good writing, right? I really liked the way Robert Jordan wrote a lot of the combat in this section. It's tough, right? There's so many good moments. But I will say, I think my favorite moment in all of it is the moment that I read straight from the book, is the Hopper and Perrin. Perrin to me it might be my favorite book character so far. I really love Perrin. He's so complicated and deep, and his relationship with Hopper and like this like dead wolf that has come back to him and to become his like dream sidekick or whatever is so beautiful. And the Hopper being like, look, you're gonna die, and Perrin's like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta save her. And Hopper's like, okay, brother, then let's do this.
Yeah.
It was this moment where I was like so charged. I was like, let's go.
Yeah,
I loved it.
So good.
Loved it so much. And then honestly, all of the dream stuff with Perrin from there on was all equally awesome. Yeah. But like the high of the end of that chapter to me, and Perrin just diving in to save Zareen, the moment right before where Loyal is like, the Dark One himself would not get through me, I will protect you. Like the end of that chapter to me was just so incredible.
So good. Yeah. It really was so good.
Yeah.
No, I loved it.
We hunt, brother. Oh God, I love that. I love the end of that chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It stuck with me more than anything else. Yeah. Oh, but honestly, y'all, the end of this book is so good. Other than a couple things, that we've talked about, the end of this book is so good. And it's gonna be tough to like match this, I think, again.
Yeah, for sure. This has been like a real high. Like I just want to pick up the next book. I'm so excited. But we have to wait one more week because next week is the recap. So before we get into all that, we just want to let you know we're sponsored by HelloFresh.
Oh, we haven't mentioned that at all.
We have not mentioned that at all today. Yeah. And we do have a goal. I first want to say thank you to everyone who has signed up so far. Yeah. We really, really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. You can use our code POGSE3330 to get 16 free meals plus 3 free gifts. We will be doing a HelloFresh cooking stream over on Twitch. That's next Sunday. So yeah, make sure you just give it a look. If you're in the US, unfortunately, it does not work outside of the United States. But if you are in the US, please consider checking it out because it would mean a lot to me, mean a lot to us. This is like a really big sponsorship for us, and we really appreciate you being on this journey. With all of us.
There's the link for that.
And then on Sunday, we're on the Dusty Wheel.
Yeah, we're going to be on the Dusty Wheel on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a very exciting show, very fun. Why is everyone getting banned? Wait, what happened in chat?
Maybe there's a...
We're like 20% done with the series now.
Yay!
Also, keep an eye out... Keep an eye out for the book 4 reading schedule because it might be different than the other ones.
Yes, we are considering adding an extra week for this next book because it is it's a lot. It's a lot. Yes. So stay tuned for that. Next week is the full recap.
I don't know what is happening in chat right now. What is?
We missed some stuff because I didn't see any of them.
Ooh, Daniel Robinson said Matt duel with Goen and Galad is still one of my favorite parts of all books. We are going to do full book high-low next week, so definitely come back for that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the entire book next week. If you have questions that you would like us to answer, please join the Discord. There's a link left there by the mods. There is a channel specifically labeled questions. You can leave it there. No spoilers. Our mods will be going through that before we look at it just to make sure. But yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about more specifically, more in depth, please hop on over to the Discord. And yeah, we'll be back next week for our full The Dragon Reborn recap.
Yeah.
Before we head out, we have one more segment to do.
The final segment of the show, because we know that some people like to dip out before Smut Corner. Smut Corner!
Yay!
Let's add sex scenes into this section.
Okay, my favorite and most obvious one is, like, Tom and Alwyn, like...
Oh, yeah, they bone down once he's healthy.
Yeah. Like, he's not quite feeling it. She nurses him back to health, and it gets steamy.
He's not about her until he's had her rub his chest a few times. And then, like, you know, they get... Yeah, Berserker gets it. Sexual healing for Tom. Fail and Perrin.
Oh, yeah.
She wakes up. He just saved her life. They're alone in a bedroom, except for Loyal. And Loyal is like, his ears start to twitch. Because he can, like, his ears sense the sexual chemistry. His eyebrows are flapping. And he's like, I'm going to go. And Perrin's like, I saw you naked. And she's like, I know. And he's like, and she's like, do you want to see me naked again? And then she rips her blouse open. Hot. And yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, I'm into it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think also, it's tough to add other there's so much action in this.
Yeah.
Where else would you add it?
I don't know. Matt starts flirting with one of the Aiel ladies, and then the other shows up, and he's like, you know what? 2 for 1, I'll take it. They're there for a few days. They're in a big castle.
I feel like they're too young for Matt. They're like 20 years too young for Matt. You know, he wants them in their like 40s.
He likes a MILF. You're right. I don't know.
Every anvil needs a good hammer. Mike McGarty.
That's why Perrin chooses the hammer over the axe.
Yeah.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
Oh man, these are just straight up canon.
Yeah, we don't make the rules.
Intrinsical. I do like the idea of Aiel going through Matt's holes. I do like that.
That was very funny. Well done.
Do you think that Perrin and Zareen like sneak into the smithy to like have sex in the, you know, like?
Yeah, it's like hot and sweaty in there, and that's where she's been like fantasizing about him. It's 100%.
Yeah.
I could see that be really hot.
It's a good spot. You know, you've got like the anvil. You can like really bend someone over that rather.
That'd be so hard though. Like you would be so bruised.
Yeah.
There's no soft surface in a smithy.
Can I tell a dirty story about one time I got in trouble?
You can do whatever you want, I guess.
This story might get me in trouble, but so my college dorm beds were like these high. They were mattresses on top of these high like they had like drawers in them, and so they were the perfect height to bend someone over. And so my college girlfriend and I, my freshman year girlfriend, I bent her over it, and we had some very aggressive sex, and she bruised really easily. And so she had these massive bruises on her thighs. And so the next day, she went to dance class in like booty shorts.
Of course.
And so I got a message from the head of dance at my university to come to her office. And I got pulled into her office, and she was like, we need to have a conversation about what you did to Megan. And I was like, why? Why do we have to talk about that? And they thought that I had like hurt her. And so Megan got called in, and Megan was like, oh yeah, no, they're from having sex. And so the dance teacher was like, why didn't you just wear pants then? Like, why did you have...
What?
And so
she wanted to show it off.
I had to like have... Yeah,
oh my God.
Awful. I was like sitting there being like, I'm not like...
I don't... oh God, I hate that so much.
Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad. And she like refused to wear long pants that week. And because, you know, it's hot in New York. And so she's just in booty shorts all the time. Right. And everyone is like, and so like for like a half a day, people are like, what the hell did he do to her? And then after that, everyone was like, you know, high-fiving me in the hallways. They were like, way to go, champ. And I was like, this is weird either way.
So weird. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Baka Karn, thank you so much for the super chat.
The olive oil barrel.
Perrin used the olive oil barrel at the smithy. That's, you know, you get lubed up.
Oh God.
I will. I don't think I'll ever be as uncomfortable though as I was sitting in Rhonda's office with her like insinuating that.
Yeah.
And me trying to be like, how do I even explain? Because I didn't want to be like, oh no, it was me, but like.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's so awkward.
Oh my God. Yeah. And she was like, oh God.
She was like, I'm wearing shorts on purpose. No,
No, she just always wore shorts. Like, it was, like, it wasn't, like, weird for her to wear shorts all the time. It was just, yeah, it was just very weird to be in, like, the head of the dance program at my university's office being like, no, so we were having sex real hard.
We were having sex real hard.
So sorry, Rhonda. I don't know how to tell you this.
Yeah, that's going to be Fail with the anvil. If you bend her over an anvil, there's no way her thighs are not bruising.
Oh, yeah, no, you're going to be bruised up. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. That story was probably TMI. But it is one of the worst moments of my life.
That's why we save it for the end. So you don't have to be here for the smut. Space Zoo, thank you for the super chat.
My class showing up with bruises. Now we know what to wear. It depends on what the bruises are. Like, I want to be very clear. I would never hurt my wife. But, like, if there was cause for concern, I would want people to take it seriously.
Yeah. I also do bruise easily.
You do
my legs just always have bruises. I will, like, bang the wall and, like, my legs are bruised.
Nerdy is now known as the hammer. I need to not tell personal stories on this podcast.
Well, too late now. I think that's everything. So
I'm so proud of us. I'm gonna brag about us for a minute, if that's all right, chat. This has been a very hard week. And I was very worried that the show was going to either be awful or that we wouldn't get through it. But we pushed through. I feel I'm gonna pass out for the rest of the day. Like this is all the energy that I have for this 24-hour period.
We gonna lie down.
But we got through the show. And
I'm really glad. It was such a good part of the book, and I wanted to talk about it so bad, and we did it. But
I just want to thank you for showing up with me today and doing this, because I couldn't do this without you. I couldn't. No one would show up to watch the show if it was just me. You're the best part of the show.
I would watch if it was you.
Oh, I would have one viewer. It would be you.
That's not true.
And I want to just apologize for all the coughing and the sniffling, and I know this was probably the grossest show we've done. But
sorry about that.
Thank you for showing up anyway.
Thank you for showing up, guys, and thank you to our mods for showing up every damn week. We appreciate the heck out of you. Show the mods some love. Get yourself a Narg Smart t-shirt and do something nerdy tonight. Yeah.
Do something tonight. I'll come back next week for the full book recap. Dusty Wheel, Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Dusty Wheel, Sunday.
And don't forget, next week, huge announcement. So that's going to be very fun.
Big announcement on the show. That is correct. Yeah. Big announcement. It's big. It's a big one. Okay, bye, guys.
It's the biggest announcement in this company's history.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Next week. It's going to be a good one. Bye.